Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Music Mondays podcast. I'm your host, Sam Slays. Welcome on in, my friends. Happy Monday. We got Ghost in the chat off the rip with a 4-monther. Thank you so much, King. Thank you. Appreciate you for the 4 months. Let's fucking get it, baby. So let's get into it, my friends. What's going down? What's cracking? How we feeling? Today is April 14th, actually, which is kind of crazy. I feel like April's like whipping by, man. I really feel like April's just fucking whipping by. I won't lie. But we have plenty to go over. Lots of stuff to get into. I think we're gonna do some community feedback today, and then hop into our submissions. So let's get into it. You guys know the drill. Music Mondays weekly recap. What happened at Music Mondays over the course of the last week or so? Let's talk about it. So let's see here. Let me pull up some notes and we'll dive right into it. Per usual, Music Money's basic logo t-shirts are available and in stock. We still have a few left, so just let us know if that's something you're interested in copying. We have smalls, larges, and mediums. United States shipping only, just so shipping costs don't literally destroy your pockets. $20 flat as well, so definitely let us know and send us a message. Send us a DM if that's something you're interested in. Let's see here. So, following that, per usual, early access Patreon content is available on our Patreon right now. Quite literally, that drops every single Tuesday following the live show. So if you're interested in catching the show again, or you want to watch it in high quality, you want to clip it, you want to download it, you want to do whatever you want with it, go check out the Music Money's Patreon because those are available every single Tuesday. Let's see here. So following Tuesday, heading into Wednesday, SoundCloud Sunday submissions open every single Wednesday, so you guys know that. So make sure you follow us on socials and stay up to date for when that does go live. And of course, we do some audio podcast promo on Wednesdays as well. So again, make sure you follow us on socials to stay up to date. Let's see here. So that's Wednesday, usually a pretty stacked Wednesday. Heading into Thursday, episode 220 of the Music Mondays podcast is available on all audio platforms. So if you missed the live show last week, definitely go check it out on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, all that good jazz. And huge shout out to everybody that submitted and tuned in to episode 220, man. You guys are fucking wonderful. Thank you. Continuing on with Thursday, a brand new YouTube upload got put up this week titled Music Mondays is Recruiting. So that is our 2025 recruiting video, and that's paired with our 2025 role guide. So definitely go check that out. Go show that some love. That's a W video for sure. And let us know if you're interested in joining the Music Mondays staff team. Let's see here. So that was Thursday. Again, pre-stack Thursday. Heading into Friday, we dropped a brand new article with the homie Conbini, where she reviewed a very special track. So definitely go check that out. And huge shout out to Conbini, man. Like, thinking about it now, that's such a W piece, man. That was such a W piece. Like, sometimes the short pieces really hit. You know, like when it comes to writing, um, you know, you don't want to have an article too small, but you don't want to have an article that's like 3 pages long of like word soup. You know what I mean? So there's like a fine line there. But brand new article is live right now by the homie Conbini. Go show that some love and huge shout out to Conbini. Let's see here. So continuing on with Saturday, episode 220 of the Music Mondays podcast is available on our YouTube channel. That does drop every single Saturday. So again, if you're interested in watching the show back on YouTube, you want to go throw it on your TV, you want to go do anything like that, the YouTube version is available every single Saturday. So again, huge shout out to everybody that came through and showed love to episode 220. All right. So W Saturday. Heading into Sunday, SoundCloud Sunday volume 182 is available right now on our SoundCloud. That was curated by me. This week I did the cover, but next week we'll have a 60 cover as well. But SoundCloud Sunday volume 182 is available right now, so definitely go check that out. Go show it some love, and huge shout out to everybody that submitted to SoundCloud Sunday, man. You guys are fucking wonderful. Thank you. So Sunday pretty stacked. Heading into today, Monday, that lands us here, April 14th, my friends. That was your weekly recap and pretty much everything major that happened at Music Mondays over the course of the last week or so. So, excellent. All right, let's talk. So what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so? The Patreon update that had to get delayed, but well, I mean, it's already out like on our Patreon, but there's a few more graphics that I had to crank out too. So that'll be going live on socials this week. because it's a pretty lengthy post, to be honest with you. So I want to make sure that that announcement was good. But the Music Money's Patreon official announcement is definitely going out this for sure. And that's when we'll be switching over the stream graphics, right? Everybody will have their names on the stream ending screen and things like that. So definitely go check out the Music Money's Patreon and make sure you go show that some love when the announcement drops. And again, you're never obligated to join the Music Money's Patreon. That's just another alternative way for us to give some support for the community and things like that. So, but again, huge shout out to all of our patrons, man. You guys are awesome. So, let's see here. Outside of that, what's pretty much major? Actually, a pretty important update. I've been meeting with the Music Money staff team over the last couple weeks, and we've been planning our next summer event, and we finally know what it is. It's something we've never done before. So we're definitely going to do another album this year. We're definitely going to have Cyberfest 3. But this new event is literally something that we've never done before. And it's going to be something for producers and pretty much all artists, right? But we're ironing out the details when it comes to that. So that'll be like a May, June-ish kind of event, I'd probably say. I'm trying to have it all ironed out by like May. So that way, like mid-June, July, we can actually like crank out this event. Because this will be something a little bit different. And it'll be a longer event as well. You know what I mean? So it's going to be one of those like, not just like a day event, you know? So I don't want to say too much until all the details are ironed out. But we finally have something on the table, which I was excited about. Because like I said, I wanted to do Cyberfest 3 and I wanted to do another album and things like that, but those are kind of like staples here, so I wanted to introduce something new. And me and the team finally came up with something, so more details on that as we iron that out for sure. And then we'll be focusing on recruiting pretty heavily as well, heading into April and May, so that'll be super, super important. But outside of that, your regular scheduled content will continue, right? All of your monthly drops will stay the same. Music Mondays podcast isn't changing or anything like that. And of course, like I said, your weekly drops, playlist, SoundCloud Sunday, the podcast, articles every Friday, all that good jazz. That's all staying the same, per usual. But those are two major things that's coming up for us. So May and June are going to be pretty important for sure. But we got some stuff cooking in the background, my friends. But yeah, just want to make sure that our ship keeps sailing, you know. So that's pretty much what's super, super important. And of course, make sure you follow us on socials to stay up to date in case there's any rogue announcements or we have to make a certain update or anything like that. So definitely follow us on socials. So that's pretty much everything major that's coming up over the next week or so. Let's talk recruiting while we're on the topic. So when it comes to recruiting, Music Mondays is recruiting. We have about 4 or 5 staff slots open right now. We are on the hunt for all roles. We're on the hunt for writers, journalists, curators, designers. You want to do social media, you want to do short form media, you want to do long form media, you know, maybe some underground history docs or something like that. If you're interested in any of those Music Money staff roles, definitely contact us. Send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email. We'd be happy to have that conversation with you and break down the Music Money staff roles in a little bit more detail. And of course, we have our 2025 Music Money staff role guide available right now on our YouTube channel, which I just recently did. So that's pretty up to date for 2025. And I kind of break down all the staff roles and things like that. So definitely go check that out if you're ever interested. But like I said, Music Money is recruiting. Outside of that, we are on the hunt for SoundCloud exclusives. If you have an unreleased SoundCloud track that you'd like to have hosted and promoted on the Music Money SoundCloud and across all of our socials for free, definitely let us know. Send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email. We're definitely on the hunt for a few more SoundCloud exclusives for sure. We started off the year pretty hot, but that'll be something that we focus more on as well. So again, we're only interested in unreleased material. So if you want to go put the track on distribution, you want to go do a music video for it, that's fine, but we're only interested in the SoundCloud version of your track, just to not only show artists some love in a different way, but to show our listeners over there on SoundCloud some love too, right? So everybody eats when it comes to that kind of thing, so definitely let us know if you're interested in that. And of course, same goes for YouTube as well. So again, if you're interested in getting a unreleased music video, visual, or even you just want some audio hosted on the Music Mondays YouTube channel, definitely let us know. Send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email. We've hosted quite a few drops on the YouTube channel, but I definitely want to get more of those for sure. I definitely want to get more of those in 100%. So that'll be something that we focus on as well. Outside of that, and again, same goes for YouTube as well, completely for free. So definitely let us know. Send us a message, send us a DM or anything like that. Outside of that, I don't think there's anything like super important when it comes down to exclusives. So we did weekly recap jazz. We did what's coming up on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so. We spoke about SoundCloud exclusives. We spoke about recruiting. Yeah, we're pretty solid. So, today's discussion segment actually is community feedback because it's a new month. It is a new month, my friends. So, all right, let's talk about it. Um, so for those of you that don't know, every single month here on the Music Mondays podcast, we do community feedback where we give the community a chance to speak their mind and let us know what they want to see on Music Mondays and things like that, right? So, if you're interested in suggesting anything, right, whether it be topics, you want to see some certain guests, and not just for the Music Mondays podcast, this can be for Music Mondays in general, right? So, if you're interested in any of that, definitely drop it in the comments or send us a tweet, send us a DM, send us an email, anything like that. Because, like I said, we like to do these monthly outside of our regular content, right? Because we have plenty of content to go through here at Music Mondays, and I have a pretty good rollout planned for the next few topics, but I always want to make sure that we give the community a chance to voice their opinions, and let us know what they want to see, right? And like I said, it can be anything. Underground tips and tricks videos. You want to see a certain guest. You want us to do X, Y, or Z. You want to suggest an improvement somewhere. It's pretty much for the community, right? So we like to do these on a month-to-month basis. So this will be community feedback, I think 20 or 19, something like that. But yeah, definitely send us a tweet, send us a DM, send us an email. Let us know what you want to see on Music Mondays. These have been getting a little bit more traction as we put them out, but I always just want to give the community a chance to let us know what they'd like to see on the show and on the platform itself, right? So definitely let us know. Like I said, this will be uploaded on the Music Mondays YouTube channel, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. We are literally approaching 310 subs. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz is over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love. And of course, make sure you let us know what you want to see for community feedback. Excellent. So, let's see here. What else? I think we're good to go, chat. I think we're good to go. We didn't miss anything. I think it's time for us to hop over to some submissions, man. Because we have a pretty stacked night. I was really excited checking out what submissions looked like tonight because I was like, oh shit. Not only do we have our Patreon stacked up in here, but a couple returning faces, a couple new faces. Tonight will be good. Tonight will definitely be good. But you guys know the drill. Tweets are always in the same format, and they always read. Artists and creative submissions are open for live reviews on Music Mondays, live on April 14th, 2025 at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Twitch.tv/ZonPlays, which is here and now. So again, tweets are always in the same formats for submissions. The only thing that changes is the date, so make sure you check the date and make sure you submit for a show that hasn't happened yet, and you're not dropping links for a show that's already happened. Because, believe it or not, that's definitely happened quite a few times where I'll get tweets and it'll be for a show that happened like months ago, and I'm like, damn. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where it's just like, just check the date and you're good to go. But outside of that, per usual, if you'd like to submit your music, artwork, fashion, or digital creations, drop your links and portfolios below. All art forms are welcome. So again, contrary to our name, Music Mondays, we've reacted to pretty much everything here on the show. If you're an independent underground creator and you think you deserve some spotlight and want to showcase yourself on the Music Mondays podcast, definitely drop your links. So again, we've reacted to music, obviously, instrumentals, remixes, covers, music videos, AMVs, photography, videography, poetry, writing, YouTube edits, merchandise. We've pretty much gone down the line because, again, a lot of underground creatives and a lot of creatives in general are multi-talented, right? So that's pretty much one of the only reasons why we do that is we want to make sure that we give everybody a fair shake when it comes to the Music Mondays podcast. You know what I mean? So outside of that, per usual, we do have a 3-hour show limit. 3-hour show limit's just in place because it's a little bit palatable to watch back after you rewatch the show back. I mean, sometimes, watching back a longer video isn't that bad, right? But compared to like our 5-6 hour shows back in like 2023, we definitely had to slim it down a little bit just because it's a tough watch unless you're like throwing it back and on like your TV or something like that, right? But also at the same time, we are one of the only weekly live shows here on Twitch on Mondays. So again, it takes the pressure off of pretty much the whole team as we go along. So again, 3-hour show limit, just keep that in mind. And of course, submissions are free. They always have been free. They always will be free. The only thing that we do ask is that you're following Music Mondays on Twitter to be eligible. So again, submissions are free. They always have been free, and they always will be free. But the only thing that we do ask is that you're following on Twitter before you submit. It not only help grow our platform and spread our message and things like that, but also just to pay respect to everybody else that does wait for their submissions to be reacted to every single week. And of course, you gain access to a whole wonderful community of talented underground creatives. So, I mean, it's kind of a win-win. You know what I mean? But again, just keep that in mind. That's the only thing that we do ask. And of course, Patreon subscribers' submissions are played first every single week here on the show. So, when it comes down to the Music Mondays Patreon, if you're subscribed to the Patreon at any tier, whether that be the basic tier, the advanced tier, or the premium tier, you gain access to a whole bunch of goodies, but you gain access to one special goodie that has to do with the Music Mondays podcast, which is the Music Mondays Fast Pass. So again, essentially for the duration that you're pledged to the Music Mondays Patreon, you'll have all of your submissions played first every single week here on the show. So not only are you at the height of viewership, right? When people go and watch the show back, you'll be one of the first artists that they see, right? Because a lot of people just start videos, and then if they click out of a video, it's usually about a quarter way through. So you're always going to be played when it comes down to that. So again, definitely go check out the Patreon if you have any more questions about that, or definitely send us a message, send us a DM, and all that good jazz. And huge shout out to all of our Patrons. You guys are wonderful. Outside of that, the only thing that we do got to mention is that submissions close about a couple hours before the show starts. So again, you have like roughly 6.5 or so days to get your submissions in, which is obviously is like plenty of time. You could even cook up a song from scratch and literally like submit it for the next week's show. But once the show is live, then submissions are closed. That's just a good rule of thumb. Just so that way the submission order stays organic and nobody cuts the line that submitted late and messes up the order when somebody was waiting for their submission and things like that. You know what I mean? So that's why we do close submissions when the show starts, just so everybody's order stays in place. Outside of that, that's pretty much everything you need to know about the Music Mondays podcast. We do have a brand new how to submit to the Music Mondays podcast guide on the Music Mondays YouTube channel, where I kind of break down the Music Mondays lore, why we take submissions on Twitter, how the idea even came about when it came to the Music Mondays podcast, and a whole lot of other really, really cool history. So definitely go check that out and go show that some love if you're interested. All right, my friends, we are good. We are good to go. So let's see how many Patrons we have tonight. Laveri's will be up first, which will be crazy. I'm very excited for this one. Laveri's first, and then Jordan, and then I thought there was another. I think it just might be Laveri's and Jordan this week, unless I was tripping. Yeah, I think I was probably tripping. So it's probably just Laveri's and Jordan, I think, this week. So we'll go Laveri's and then we'll go Jordan. All right, let's get into it. So the reason why I was excited for Laveri's submission here was for a few reasons, right? But their caption definitely intrigued me. Third track from the deluxe, some pretty personal bars on this one. Now, if you know Laveri's keeps it pretty surface level when it comes to their writing. They don't get that personal, unless it's like a subliminal or something like that. So that kind of intrigued me. Like, I'm very excited to see what Laveri's has in store for us this week, for sure. But Laveri's, again, a very, very talented hip hop artist, has submitted Tell Her Lies, the official lyric video, and of course, Proud by the Homie Ghost. So, let's check this out. Alright, let's go 720. Let's see. Go full volume. Twin, let's get it, baby. Okay, so 10 hours ago, so super new, super new. I'm down. Let's get into it. We got to put our listening ears on here. Laveri's and Ghost Tell Her Lies official lyric video, vertical lyric video, you can call it as well. Let's go.
Donald Trump has no plan for you. And when you look at his economic plan, it's all about tax breaks for the richest people. The best economists in our country, if not the world, have reviewed our relative plans for the future of America. What Goldman Sachs has said is that Donald Trump's plan would make the economy worse, mine would strengthen the economy. 16 Nobel laureates have described his economic plan as something that would increase inflation and by the middle of next year would invite a recession.
I done dipped into my savings, gotta make this music work. I can't let my bitch find out, I tell her lies, this ain't the first. Good thing she hate all my songs, when this shit pop, she gon' be hurt. If she act right, then I'll act right. Let her spend all my net worth. I done took a risk, I just gotta commit it, and it's gon' pay off. Stressing to get paper, not right now, I ain't taking no days off. Bitch ass haters in my comments talking about don't quit your day job. You sitting on the couch broke as fuck on God.
Oh shit.
I just wanna be me.
Real.
Messy, is that not allowed? Yeah. Blowing dope in my mansion. All I wanna see is clouds. Yeah. I'ma go for what I want, ain't got no shame. Best believe I'ma take that hand out. I know what I'm about. I'ma stay what I'm about. What you say don't bring me doubt. Nah, I ain't never been the one to quit unless we talking about that nicotine. On that shit too young, my friend really took some damage, yeah. But when I'm rich at 21, I'm still gonna buy me a pack of cigs, yeah.
Real.
Smoke the whole damn pack while I'm making some hits, then maybe never again. I done
Real.
dipped into my savings,
So
gotta
real.
make this music work. I can't let my bitch find out. I tell her lies, this ain't the first. Good thing she hate all my songs. When this shit pop, she gon' be hurt. If she act
Hella
right,
chill beat
then
for me,
I'll
not gonna lie,
act right. Let
definitely.
her spend all my net worth. I done took a risk, I just gotta commit it, and it's gon' pay off. Stressing to get paper, not right now, I ain't taking no days off. Bitch ass haters in my comments talking about don't quit your day job. You sitting on a couch broke as fuck on God. I would never wanna be y'all.
I done dipped into my savings, gotta make this music work. I can't let my bitch find out. I tell her lies, this ain't the first. Good thing she hate all my songs. When this shit pop, she gon' be hurt. If she act right, then I'll act right. Let her spend all my net worth. I done took a risk, I just gotta commit it, and it's gon' pay off. Stressing to get paper, not right now, I ain't taking no days off. Bitch ass haters in my comments talking about don't quit your day job.
This sounds
Sitting on
crazy.
the couch broke as fuck on God. I would never wanna be y'all.
Wow. Man. That was very, very like I don't know. That was so like interesting. Like something about that was just so well put together. I think it was the quote at the start that really locks you in. You know what I mean? Like having that quote at the start really locks you in, and then much like Go said in the chat, having the chill beat gives Laverius the opportunity to kind of like really write their ass off and like kind of slide on this however they wanted to. But also, you kind of pay attention to the message more. You know what I mean? This one definitely is very real. I mean, because like I was going into this thinking that like I didn't know what Laverius was going to mean by personally, you know, because that could mean a lot of things to a lot of people. So it's like, okay, like what were we in for? You know what I mean? And pleasantly surprised, definitely pleasantly surprised. I mean, especially that bar of, you know, don't quit your day job. I think fucking TikTok weirdos, bro. I think they say that shit to like everybody. I think I've seen a comment like that that's so similar to like everybody. It's such a washed out kind of like diss. It's such a washed diss. But you're right. You're right about that for sure. For sure. And then like, oh man, I don't know. Let's get into it though. We're gonna talk about three things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme. Actually no, scratch that. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the official lyric video, because again, Laverius kind of using their imagination. You know what I mean? Like it like now they're really using their imagination again. Like the car is such a great concept here. So I like this a lot. But let's break it down. Let's get into it. Facts. Yeah, no, Fetch. Super dead diss. Yeah, that like if you're an artist who's been doing this for like even like just 6 months, like that's not gonna hurt your feelings. You know what I mean? Like that's just not gonna hurt your feelings. I mean, it's just bad energy anyway. You know, just ignore that type of shit. Like people like that are just miserable. You know. But regardless, we'll talk about that more in a second. Let's talk about the instrumental. So much like Ghost said, I mean, a very chill instrumental. I like the choice out of Laverius to even pick this one. Not really out of his element, but definitely one of the ones that, like, you know, like I said, kind of gave Laverius the ability to really like speak their mind here. Somewhat of a blank canvas, if you will, right? So, let's talk about the mix. The mix is fantastic, actually. I actually really like this mix because, you know, sometimes on the more chill beats, you can hear certain parts of an instrumental way more clear. obviously, right? But when it comes down to like having a solid mix, it's very loud, crisp, clean, clear. I like the sound selection a lot. It's not trying to do too much, you know. It's doing exactly what it's intended to do, and Laverius kind of proved that, you know. So the mix is great. Definitely no gripes with the mix at all. Let's talk Shining Star. Instrumental Shining Star. I do like the melody. I like the melody a lot. I feel like the melody sets the mood for like a little bit more of like a serious tone. You know what I mean? Like, so that's why I'm like, I feel like melody here is definitely a go. I like the melody a lot, but the drums are a close second. Drums are definitely a close second. Um, hmm. Let's go melody. Let's definitely go melody for sure. I mean, drums are a close second, but I really like this melody. Again, it just like set the tone. You know what I mean? So, melody for sure. So instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix. I mean, again, Laverius is really like perfecting their vocal mix when it comes down to just the little things, right? Like how they're recording or how their engineers doing certain shit. Like it's becoming very like consistent, which I guess it really always was if you think about it. But there's always like that quality improvement that artists make, right? Like you know, shit like that sometimes doesn't even really have to do with engineering. It's all in the matter of like getting a new mic or something. You know what I mean? Or like how you sit when you record or shit like that. You know what I mean? And slowly like you'll find your quality like going up and up and up. You know what I mean? So super important, super important. But again, crispy mix. Nothing super clashy, too overbearing, not too loud at all. I feel like the levels were solid. I really like the slowed and reverb like outro there too. I thought that was really sick. That was a nice touch. So the overall mix was great to me. Um, vocal Shining Star. I mean, it's writing. 100%. It's got to be writing for sure. I mean, Flo and Kane's delivery was up there. I could say you could probably make an argument for that, but I'm gonna go with the writing. I'm gonna go with the writing for sure. And then the quote at the start again just immediately draws you into the song. You know what I mean? So instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Vocal solid, definitely the writing. Let's talk about the vertical lyric video. So, for those of you that are frequent viewers of the Music Mondays podcast, whether it be live or over there on YouTube or Spotify or anything like that, you're gonna know that Laverius has been going on a tear when it comes down to these vertical lyric videos. And the last like 2 or 3 that we've reacted to have been so fun. So fun. And Laverius is just doing small shit to like make each of them different. And like doing the car video was again a no-brainer, but I love people that actually like do it. You know what I mean? Like people talk about ideas like this all the time. Dude, it takes 2 seconds to fucking set up your phone and do this, you know what I mean? And then like editing and shit like that, especially for like Laverius' music too. Like I feel like this kind of works, you know? So as an artist, like you just gotta find like what works for you. You know what I mean? But Laverius definitely has. And then like just like using what's available to you, you know what I mean? Just like using your resources, like because like I said, like the last 2 have just been absolutely fucking stellar. You know what I mean? Like these last 2 have just been great. They've been fantastic. And then, you know, the whole ear candy is like a literally like a whole other topic too, you know? So this one I'm a big fan of. I'm a big fan of this one just because of that fact of it's just switched up slightly, but I feel like the car ones always hit. I don't know why. So something about this angle and just like actually going hard on your song. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm biased, you know what I mean, but I've always enjoyed it. Shining Star for the vertical lyric video is definitely the concepts. I like the concept a lot. I like all their concepts to be real with you, but Laverius definitely keep this up for sure because you're totally onto something with this for sure. I like it a lot. You know what I mean? So, well done, my friend. Well done. With that said, huge shout out to Laverius. Thank you so much for the submission. Make sure you go sub to their channel. They're approaching 1.1K on the tube, and of course, make sure you go follow Laverius on Twitter. They are literally only 6 followers away from 130, so go show them some love in the bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 310 subscribers, actually. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz is over there on the channel. Let's get it, baby. All right. So that was our first Patreon of the night, and our last and certainly not least, the homie Jordan, a multi-genre talented artist, has been killing it with their submissions as well. They've had a stellar 2025, 4 months in. I mean, From the collabs to the projects to the singles to, man, just so many high points already for Jordan, like 4 months in. So I'm definitely excited to see what we got here, though. They submitted a track titled "Can't Make This Up." Let's pop it open here. I'm down. Pop it open a new tab, Rooney. Oh yeah, SoundCloud has fucking dark mode now. Yes, dude. When I fucking woke up this morning and I opened SoundCloud and this was what I saw, I was like, holy shit. Holy shit. About like 6 years too late, but finally. Like finally, dude. I don't know why this took them so long to do, but now no more flashbang on the podcast whenever we have a SoundCloud submission. Wait, they have a dark mode now? Yeah, no, literally. I woke up this morning and I shit myself. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, yes, thank you. It's like, I didn't mind the lighter mode. It just hurt my eyes, especially like when you're working for a while, you know what I mean? And then you open SoundCloud, it's just flashbang. Like, Jesus. Damn late, but still, yeah, facts. Like, at least we got it. At least we got it. A little late, but at least we got it. But regardless, let's continue on here. So Jordan, submitted a track titled "Can't Make This Up." Written and produced by Jordan, vocals by Jordan and Cat. Oh, a little bit of collaborative vocals here. Cover painted and edited by Jordan. Oh shit. Oh shit. Okay. Let's go. This is like a fully. Oh my god. This is insane. I got lyrics in the description. I'm down, man. Let's get into it. Jordan, Can't Make This Up. Let's go. When it's night like now for me, it's perfect. I agree. Whoa. Huh. Wow. Wow. I like this concept a lot. I really like this as a duo. Wow. You know, I'm always been a big fan of those kind of tracks where they have like stacked vocals like that, but it's like almost like a duet. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like sometimes they come out so good. This is definitely one of those for me, for sure. Just a very good mood kind of song, you know. It just feels good, you know. It just feels like a good mood, to be honest with you. Um, Shit. Okay. Okay. Much to dive into here. I like this. I like this a lot. I like this as a duo. I'd like more of this. I'd take an EP of this all day. For sure I would. But let's talk about it, man. Let's break it down. So we're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of Can't Make This Up. So let's see. Let's talk instrumental. Fully written and produced by Jordan. So, I mean, the way this comes in is insane. You know, like it starts off with a lot of emotion, like off rip. So you kind of know that you're in for it. But, um, yeah, the mix is great, to be honest with you. Like, especially when the vocals come in. But just strictly speaking on the instrumental, I like it a lot. To be honest with you, I like it a lot because like everything like almost blends together by the time you get like 30 seconds in. You know what I mean? So everything's fully fleshed out and like working as like a well-oiled machine almost. You know, so um yeah, I'm big on the mix. I'm big on the mix. Nothing super clashy, too overbearing at all. Like I said, vocals sit nice and drums definitely cut through nicely. Mm, yeah, no gripes, man. Definitely no gripes at all. So instrumental mix solid. Instrumental shining star. I'm gonna have to go structure here. Like I was thinking about structure like the whole time. I was like, oh shit, just the way it comes in and then the way it fades out, and it's like simple but very effective. You know, like such a good layout. Um, Melodies are up there too. I like the drums a lot. It's very organic. You know what I mean? It's very organic. Um, yeah, let's go structure. I like the structure a lot. It feels like a story. You know what I mean? It feels like a story, 100%. So, instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix. Okay, so when it comes to this vocal mix, you know, mixing these types of vocals and then like having them layered and you know, actually pulling off the like duo kind of style that they did here in a good way is sometimes pretty hard, you know? So this one in my opinion sounded really great. Really great. It's just very like the harmonies are clear, like everything is like very clear, you know what I mean? Like sometimes you know, if one random part of the mix when it comes to your vocals in these types of tracks is off, bro, you could just listen to it throughout the whole song and it just throws the whole song off. This one doesn't have that at all. I felt like this is very well put together. You know what I mean? Very well put together cuz again, you know, it's almost like surgery doing this type of shit. You know, it really is. So, um I'm big on the vocal mix, man. And again, not too much like post processing or anything like that. A very like simple, organic kind of almost like acoustic style track. You know what I mean? Um, you know, heading in that sound style, right? So, um, yeah, no gripes. Now that I think about it, definitely no gripes at all. I like the way it came out personally. So, vocal mix solid, vocal shining star. I mean, it'd be pretty wild to not say writing. I do like the hook. I do like the hook though. I feel like the hook is very effective. Um, hmm. Yeah, man, we're gonna have to go writing on this one. I feel like the writing was very poetic, but very honest. You know what I mean? Like you can make a love song and like you know, an emotional kind of track, but still be very vague and still also kind of be poetic about it. You know what I mean? Like even like the last bar, like this bar in particular, "Still truths about you, but I know it sounds like I made it up." You know what I mean? Like shit like that is very interesting. It's just solid for this type of feeling. So um, I'm gonna go writing. I'm definitely gonna go writing for sure, 100%. So instrumental solid, definitely structure. Vocal solid, definitely the writing. Let's talk theme. Can't make this up. Aesthetics. Painted and edited by Jordan. So again, this is one of the ones where the more you look at it, the more you see, right? And taking real photos and like editing them like this is always a W. Like I have a couple of homies who are designers that design a lot of work like this. You know what I mean? So shit like this is very cool to experiment with. And it's like the perfect single cover, you know what I mean? Because it's not too flashy, but it's not like exactly nothing either. You know what I mean? So shit like this is like probably very meaningful to Jordan, but also like it's just a simple, effective cover for a single. You know what I mean? So aesthetics definitely on point for me. Overall theme. Can't make this up. I mean, when it comes to love, man, sometimes there is shit that just like is too perfect. You know what I mean? And in like a good way though, like not like honeymoon too perfect. It's just like sometimes shit is like sometimes like you really find your duo in this world, and it'll take you to like a mindset and like a place that's like super different. It's different than friendships and like relationships with like your family and shit like that. Like when it comes to your partners, um you get elevated in all sorts of ways if you find the right person. You know what I mean? So songs like this are a product of that, for sure. Because if you find the right person, man, it's over, and you'll be writing like a madman, and you be cooking like a madman, and your work ethic would be insane. And one of those things where, again, like I said, if you do find that good person, you'll definitely find yourself kind of, I don't know, like I'm trying to relate it to a feeling. It's almost like butterflies, but even like all the time. You know what I mean? Like it's very interesting. It's very very interesting. But I think Jordan did a good job laying this one out because, like I said, it's not too like cheesy, but it's not like exactly like vague either. You know what I mean? Like some stuff like hits like a train. Like lines like this last one just stuck out to me. You know what I mean? Um, but even then, I'm biased because I like cheesy love songs. You know what I mean? So I'm always gonna be a fan of these types for sure. And I just noticed it's tagged R&B and soul. I like that. I like that. Yeah, no, well done. Great single. Great single. I definitely want more of this duo for sure. I will say that. I will say that. But huge shout out to Jordan, man. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much, much love. Make sure you go follow Jordan on SoundCloud. They're only 10 followers away from 100. That's a W milestone. And of course, make sure you go follow Jordan on Twitter. They are 2 followers away from 400. So a couple of good milestones coming in for Jordan, man. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be links in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you have not already. We're approaching 310 subscribers, actually. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz is over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. All right, man. Well done. Well done. All right. So, up next, that takes care of all the Music Mondays Patrons. Huge shout out to all of our Music Mondays Patrons. And if you're interested in the Music Mondays Patreon, definitely go check that out. Go shout out some love, or send us a message, send us a DM or an email. But time to get back to our community submissions. First up is the homie Lucha Libro, a very, very unique alternative style artist. Lucha Libro has submitted, I think this is like the last track off of their EP that we've been reacting to. So, let's go take a look at this. Let's see here. So, all right. Let's see what, let's see. So I think we've done track 3. We've done 4. I think we did 1 and 2. This might be the last one. This very much might be the last one. I'm down. Let's check it out. Lucha Libro. Let's go. Oh shit. Holy fuck. What an interesting instrumental. Like a club banger. Huh. All right. Okay. And plus it just like ends super abruptly too. Like holy shit. Um. Fuck me. Wow. This is probably one of the most interesting beats on the project, to be real with you. And then the way Lucha comes in on it's like really, really like it has a lot of energy to it. It has a lot of energy to it for sure. Um. Hmm. All right. Let's break it down. Let's talk about it. So, we're gonna talk about the um instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of this track. So, let's talk instrumental because the instrumental is fucking crazy, man. The instrumental is actually fucking crazy. I like the choice. I feel like Lucha's very confident in their style when it comes to like this, like almost punk adjacent, like in your face, kind of vocal style. So a lot of their instrumental choices really like back it up for sure. Um, but the mix is pretty decent, to be honest with you. Nothing like super clashy, too overbearing. I like the sound selection a lot. Melody's great. Melody has a lot of high energy. It has this like almost house dance kind of vibe, but it's still a little bit darker too. You know, like it's got a couple genres kind of poking out at it. So um, I do like the choice. I do like the choice. So instrumental mix. Solid. Nothing super clashy, too overbearing. Like I said, nothing like really getting in the way of anything. You know, sound selection's good. So for where it's at, definitely solid. Instrumental Shining Star, on the other hand, huh? Probably the melody. Probably the melody, if I'm gonna be real with you, because the melody has such like a high energy to it. You know what I mean? The melody's really up there. So I like the drums, but let's go melody. Let's go melody for sure. So, instrumental solid, definitely melody. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix. Again, Lucha has a little bit of different vocal styles like every now and then, like how they mix their vocals has been, you know, it has a lot of variety to it, like per song it's almost very different, but this one is pretty consistent with the rest of the project, to be honest with you. Not too much post processing or anything like that, but not exactly dry or anything like that either. It has that like not muddiness, but there's like this raspy kind of feel to it, and I think Lucha does a really good job with that, especially for like their like fast paced style, So vocal mix is again solid for where it's at. Definitely solid for where it's at. Vocal Shining Star. I kind of want to say flow and cadence and delivery. Because Lucha just comes in on this and just fucking really like has a ton of energy, Like the whole delivery throughout the whole song is just wow. It's like in your face, high octane kind of shit, Yeah, let's go flow and cadence and delivery. Let's do that. Definitely. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody, vocal solid, flow, cadence, delivery, the stock theme. Aesthetics. So I've spoken about this cover a little bit over the last couple of submissions here, but again, it has this like EP kind of feel to it. I've always been a fan of Lucha's style when it comes to their covers. I say this every single time, and I'm gonna continue to say it. But sometimes when artists take like an aesthetic consistency, it can come out pretty solid. You know what I mean? Like it's not like you have to stick to this, and there's no rule saying you have to do shit like this. But when it is done, it does look fucking sick. I won't lie. You know what I mean? Like it does look fucking sick. So I've always been a fan of Lucha's aesthetics, to be real with you. But this one for itself, though, again, it kind of has that like fisheye kind of feel to it. But at the same time, the more you look at it, the more detail you kind of see, especially like in the middle. You know what I mean? And it definitely has that EP project vibe. I mean, you could release it for a single, but it does have that EP vibe for sure. So aesthetics definitely on point. Overall theme, I mean, Lucha's themes here, man, have been so like different. so different. Each track could have an entirely different theme, like just based off their energy alone. You know what I mean? Like based off their energy alone, it's just like what the fuck. So Lucha's a very interesting artist in that aspect as to where um a lot of their topics are either very personal or very like you know obvious and like self-explanatory is the word I'm looking for. Well done, my friend. Well done. With that said, huge shout out to Lucha Libro. Thank you so much for the submission. Much love. Make sure you go follow Lucha on Spotify. Of course, make sure you go follow Lucha on Twitter. They are literally 8 followers away from 150. So make sure you go show them some love on the bird at my friends. And of course, if I was featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked to the description of the upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you have not already. We're approaching 300 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week. Every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a lot of good jazz is over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love. Let's get it. So, we left off with the homie Lucha Libro. Up next is the homie Sam's Raps. It's been a little bit since we heard from the homie Sam's Raps, man. Nah, it's only been like a month, but Sam's Raps, a very talented hip-hop artist, has submitted one of the recent drops from their 2-track EP, I Am Definitely Down. Because usually, as of lately, we've been listening to a lot of demos and a lot of unreleased from Sam's Raps. So, this is off of their recent 2-track project, Winter Break / Stained Shirt. Let's go. All right, so which one did? Okay, so we got Stained Shirt here. All right. So is Stained Shirt the second track? Yeah, it is. Okay. I'm down. We totally got to get through this for sure, though. All right, let's see. We got 2025. This is like super new. When did this project drop? Actually, April 2nd. Literally, it literally dropped 12 days ago, man. So brand new, hot off the press. Sam's Raps and the homie Uggy. Stained Shirt. Let's go. Oh shit.
Yeah, couple bugs, couple fixes too. Need a cub, I be on my stoop. Couple bugs you can get right to. I got the bug, I don't leave this booth. Doubled up on a something blue. Ton of fun if it's just us two. A puddle of mud and a blurred out dude. Waited patient as fuck for the jury's rule. I heard he's cool. Well, I knew that fool. Took him out myself with the farmer's tool. Left him in the shed and he's been there since. And honestly, I'm impressed what's left. He still pops up every now and again. Been a little while, but he's stuck in my head. Slow my breath and return to the earth. Flow, take a step, let's get back to work. I don't count days by dirt, stains on my shirt. I don't count days by dirt, stains on my shirt. I don't count days by dirt, stains on my shirt. I don't.
Sauce, yeah.
Oh shit.
Face pushing through the locusts, like God put us here but didn't even notice. We were born in the mud but pushed like lotus. Mastered the positions of yogis, still couldn't escape the flesh prison, skin and bones. So let us into tenements infested with hidden roaches.
Oh shit.
Lines inscripted in a different codex. Snot dries, rotted fruit flies, chalk lines anonymized like who is he? Who is he? Who is he? Not enough a sense of self to look in the mirror. The vision wasn't there. He must have put it on some other planet, some other timeline. Not a scrap or a blueprint or even a guideline. So I travel with the wind in my palm, grip the mic like a prayer, but no book made of strings bound over sacrificial rosewood. The flow was so good, but he couldn't sell a ticket in his old hood. Still wearing hand-me-down hoodies, still writing poetry on crinkled up napkins. A gospel according to nobody. The human realm appears in smoke and mirrors. Lay down and press it back to the mosque. What's real will never be lost. Shut up, dummy, and get on with the work. Don't be afraid, some stains on your shirt.
What the fuck? Okay, that's insane. What a great duo there.
Break too cold, so
That's a great duo there. I like that as a duo a lot, to be completely honest with you. That's such a good duo, man. Wow. Okay. Let's break this down, man. Let's break this down. Let's talk about it. I'm down. Such an interesting instrumental as well. That's the thing is like Sam's Raps, they like a specific style of instrumental, but they'll really take on almost any instrumental and slide on it. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what happened here for sure. But a very interesting instrumental. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. So we're talking about 3 things here. We're talking about the instrumental. We're talking about vocals, and we're talking about the overall theme of this track. So, let's get into it, my friends. Let's get into it. Let's talk instrumental again. Very interesting choice, but Sam's was literally had no issue flowing on this, you know what I mean? And then Uggy came in and killed it too. So um I like the choice again, but for the mix, fantastic. Nothing clashing to overbearing, nothing like super super out of place or anything like that. We've heard a lot of like Sam's raps like early demos and like some of the more recent unreleased and like the mix is even like slightly more crispier on like a final product like this. So definitely not a shocker, but something you always want to point out for anybody new here, man. So instrumental mix, very solid. Instrumental Shining Star. I do like the drums, but the melody is perfect. The melody has this almost like gangster kind of like retro vibe to it, just a little bit. I'm gonna go with melody. I'm gonna go with melody for sure. So instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix for both of them is actually really solid. Again, not really a shocker that it's crispy, but something I always want to point out for anybody new here. Definitely a very, very consistent vocal mix for sure, especially with the final product because we haven't heard too many Sam's Raps tracks that are like the final product. This is like one of the first ones in a long time, So, with this being like some of their more recent work, I would say that the mixing is like very much on point and right where it needs to be. Like I said, nothing clashing, too overbearing, nothing that like I would ultimately change on this one. Not at all, and I feel like they both sound really solid. Not too much post processing, but not like dry ass vocals either. It definitely hits that like nice middle ground. So vocal mix solid. Vocal shining star. I mean, it's got to be writing, right? I mean, flow, cadence, and delivery was up there for me, but the writing was insane. Like the replayability factor from the writing alone is just it's crazy. Like you could go back and spin this song like 3 more times in a row, and then like listen to it the next day, and you're still gonna find more bars like the next day. You know what I mean? It's one of those songs that'll like creep up on you, and like the more you listen to it, you're like, I get that. You know what I mean? You're like, oh shit. So definitely a big replayability factor here for sure. So definitely writing for me. I'm gonna go writing for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody, vocal solid, definitely the writing. Let's talk theme, aesthetics. I love this cover. It almost has this like Adult Swim kind of vibe to it, but I love the simplistic covers, especially for like an EP like this. Like having like a stained shirt right in the middle is like the obvious, no brainer, self explanatory cover art, right? But with the title bottom mid and the Sam's Raps at the top right, I feel like it really works together. Like it really works together because like packaging up these like 2-track projects or even 3-track projects, like sometimes the simple covers go really well for them. You know what I mean? So I feel like the aesthetics are very much on point. Very much on point. The overall theme, stained shirt. I mean, it's a pretty self-explanatory theme here, right? But using a topic like, a stained shirt or something like that, to like kind of like, you know, tag team off of and just like trade off bars with, and I don't know, it's just one of those themes where it's like super simple, but if you keep breaking it down, um, it's like holy shit, you know what I mean? Because you're taking like such like a simple topic, and you're going into such relatability and so many details and just it all stems from like such a simple idea. You know what I mean? So that's why tracks like these, you really got to hone in and listen to. You know what I mean? Because like it's not just a stained shirt theme. It's deeper than that. You know what I mean? So that's why again the replayability factor is important because you could go back and like I said, spin this 2-3 more times and you're gonna hear bars that you didn't hear on the first listen. You know what I mean? That's very common. So it definitely strikes me as one of those tracks, but also it's not like that deep of a theme either. You know what I mean? So I feel like this is a great showcase of Sam and Uggy as like a duo. You know what I mean? I definitely like them as a duo. I think that was like the first time that we've reacted to Uggy's vocals as well, because we've done plenty of their production, but I wasn't expecting them to sound like really that tight as a duo. You know what I mean? I feel like they did a good job. So, well done, my friends. Well done. Huge shout out to Sam's Rats. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow them on Spotify. And of course, make sure you go follow them on Twitter. They are literally approaching 1.1K on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 310 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz is over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists and channel some love. Let's get it, baby. Alrighty, my friends. Let's see here. So, we left off with the homie Sam's raps. Up next would be the homie Laverius, but Laverius is a Music Money's Patreon, and we've already reacted to their track earlier in the show. So make sure you go check out the beginning of the show and go show Laverius some love. Up next is the homie Offspring Mysterious. I'm down. I'm definitely down. So, for those of you that don't know, Offspring, a multi-talented artist, writer, designer, producer, quite literally all the above, editor, has came back with another YouTube upload, Dreams of My Reality. Let's pop this open a new tab. Let's see what we got here. I'm down. Thumbnail and starting shot is fucking crazy. So 10 days ago, so super new. Hold on, let's give it a quick pause here. Hold up. So yeah, 10 days, super new. Let's go 720. Let's go full screen. Let's get into it. Dreams of My Reality, Offspring Mysterious. Let's go. Real. Fun fact, I take my phone on my stand to get that thumbnail shot. That's actually sick, though. That's actually sick. Let me go Offspring Mysterious in the chat. Let's get it, baby. Welcome on in. Happy Monday. Let's go. Oh, shit. Oh. I haven't heard this song in so long. Oh shit. Oh shit. Bro was bugging. That's actually such a cool angle. Offspring getting creative as fuck. Holy sh. Outside POV. Where are you going? Shit. Offspring's on a fucking mission, bro. They like the switch up of where you're walking. I like that. Doesn't get too stale. Yeah, that was great. Great. Like the way that was edited. For sure. Back to this spot, eh? Been a while. Oh shit. See you next week. Oh shit. Oh shit. What the fuck? Oh shit, man. There was a lot I liked about this one, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, see, the thing is, like, Offspring's getting real slick with these. Like, really, really slick. Like, this is what happens, you know, when you're consistent with your shit, man. You start to come up with, like, new concepts and new ideas. And lately, I feel like Offspring has just been really fucking nailing it. I'm not gonna lie to you. And we got Amuk in the chat. Welcome on in, my friend. Happy Monday. Let's get it, baby. Shit. Shining Star is gonna be tough here. Because I do like the concepts. I like the locations, but the filming might be the shining star here. Because even going with like the horror vibe here, like almost like nightmarish kind of vibe, I feel like Offspring fucking nailed it with this kind of like night vision, like alt vision kind of vibe here, you know. So that scene in particular, and that shot, so to speak, I like that a lot. And then like I had noticed like. Well, actually, yeah, that's cool too. Like the Demon's text is really sick, but getting here and seeing Offspring like actually get this angle filmed and shit is fucking perfect. Like, so I almost kind of want to say all of the filming, to be honest with you, because then it transitions into Offspring walking again, right? And they're on 3 different types of pavement, which I thought was super smart because the shot didn't get stale. You know what I mean? So Offspring's really getting artsy with this. You know what I mean? Like, small stuff really makes a difference. And I feel like Offspring is kind of like really heading in that direction. You know what I mean? And just really like kind of really like plotting it out, you know? Wow. Yeah, I would say the shining star is probably the filming. I'll be honest with you. I feel like the filming, all of the angles, the bedroom angle here, the walking angle, and then ending on a note like this with the see you next week, I think that was perfect. You know what I mean? So Shining Star is definitely the filming for sure, but a close second, probably the post-processing. I liked how everything was edited, but well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to Offspring Series. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow and subscribe to Offspring on YouTube. They're only 7 subs away from 240. So make sure you go show them some love on the tube. And of course, make sure you go follow Offspring Series on Twitter. They are literally only 1 follower away from 810 or 11 followers away from 820. So make sure you go show them some love on the bird at, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you have not already. We're approaching 300 subscribers. We're actually 310. We upload 2 times per week, per usual. Full podcast, underground tips and tricks, and a whole lot of good jazz is over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists and channel some love. Let's go. Alright, so we left off with the homie Offspring Mysterious. Up next is the homie Braden. Now, Braden, a multi-genre talented artist, has submitted another track from Spotify. I am down. And their caption says, track number 7, more emotional stuff from me soon. More emotional stuff from Braden is crazy, because, like, that's how I originally found out about Braden on the Music Mondays podcast. They were doing more emotional kind of melodic shit, I would say. And they transitioned to do a couple different styles, you know? Like, I don't think we've heard a style that Braden can't do, to be honest with you. So, like I said, multi-genre talented artist for sure. But this week they submitted At the Function. Oh, shit. Okay, yeah, so this is off their For All My Ops projects. And this was, who did we, I think it was Through the Mud. Through the Mud is the one we reacted to last week. But this week, I believe it's At the Function, right? Yeah, At the Function. Oh, shit. All right, I'm down. Braden, At the Function. Oh, let's get into it. Well, let's go. Wow. Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
I want bad hoes at the function. He ain't a track star, but he gon' get to running. Y'all been tripping if y'all thought we didn't run it. AK-47, bitch, I'm really gunning. If you want a feature, that's gon' be my best. Every verse I write, I say it with my chest. Bad bitch see you go and let me see your breast. And you know it's not cause I'm a fucking well. Everybody really wishing for my death. I got so many haters, some of them I haven't met. He tryna spin, he said pull up, I said bet. If you want some, do it, I ain't fucking with no threats. I want bad hoes at the function. He ain't a track star, but he gon' get to running.
What a track.
And if y'all thought we didn't run it, AK-47, bitch, I'm really gunning. Bitch, I went and turned nothing into something, then something into nothing. Lately, I've been really bugging. I love all my dogs and all my dogs really love me. And that's more than you got, you can never even dug me. Everybody wanna talk shit, but they gon' stop talking when I steal they fucking bitch. Everybody on my fucking dick, but the moment that I go down, everybody tryna switch. I ain't fucking with no industry. Bitches so corporate acting tough, they ain't been in the streets. And I don't sing, but this shit really a symphony. I make these hoes press, see it on their face so vividly.
Okay.
I want bad hoes at the function. He ain't a track star, but he gon' get to running. Y'all been tripping if y'all thought we didn't run it. AK-47, bitch, I'm really gunning. Bitch, I went and turned nothing into something, then something into nothing. Lately, I've been really bugging. I love all my dogs and all my dogs really love me. And that's
Hey.
more than you got, you can never even dug me.
Yo. Wow. Well done. Fucking well done. Like, this being the last track on the project is crazy. So that means you know, like, the rest of the project is fucking bangers. For sure. The rest of the project has to be. But let's talk about this one, man. Let's talk about it and break it down. So, man, we're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of At the Function. So, the instrumental choice is very interesting. Like, it brings me back to like that early like drill, like Chicago era, but also it kind of brings me back to like that like OG trap era as well, right? Like before like sliding 808s were like super popular and shit. This reminds me of like that OG trap feel for sure, 100%. Trying to scope the function, hell, yo, facts. The writing here was nutty. Damn. Let's talk instrumentals. So, instrumental mix, really solid, especially for a track like this. You know what I mean? Like really solid for a track like this. Nothing like super clashy or too overbearing. Nothing that would like ultimately really switch up on this one, you know. And it has enough mud in it, but everything's still crisp and clean. Levels are definitely solid too. Vocals sit nice, so no gripes on the instrumental at all. Instrumental Shining Star. I'm gonna have to say the drums. I mean, the melody was up there, but I feel like the drums is like, I feel like the drums is like really solid, to be honest with you. I like the drums a lot. But the melody's a close second. So instrumental solid, definitely drums. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix again, crisp, clean, and clear, straight to the point. I mean, Braden hasn't had a very bad vocal mix, I don't think, in their history of submissions ever. You know what I mean? Like, their vocals are very consistent. So not really a shocker, but something you always want to point out for anybody new here. You know what I mean? So vocal mix very much on point, especially for this instrumental style. You know what I mean? Definitely like one of those like one of those vocal styles that's like you need it like crisp and clean, but also Braden has like enough like wide range that they can do whatever the fuck they want anyway. You know what I mean? So a very specific mix for this track, but very well done though. Very well done for sure. So vocal mix solid per usual. Vocal shining star. It's got to be the writing. There's a lot of fun bars in here, and like, you know, for a project called For All My Ops, I mean, 90% of the, you know, songs on the project have to be like diss songs. You know what I mean? Like, or just like, you know, cocky, like talking shit, you know, because like every artist like eventually has to talk their shit. You know what I mean? Like even like emo rap artists like eventually talk their shit. You know, like people just, you know, eventually have to like dive into that side of themselves for music. You know, but yeah, definitely writing for sure. Writing 100%. So, instrumental solid, definitely. The drums, vocal solid, definitely the writing. Let's talk theme, aesthetics, For All My Ops. you know, again, much like Lucha Libre, Braden has a very consistent aesthetic style. Like they always go with like the IRL covers, but also they had this like blue kind of theme going on. And like I always say, it's not like there's like some fucking rule where you have to do this, but when an artist does do it, it looks pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie, you know what I mean? It looks pretty sick, but definitely project worthy for sure. Especially for just a little like for all my ops kind of thing, you know, like it's like purely like a diss project, you know, which is like kind of leaning into the theme of like, you know, at the function, it's like one of those ones where it's a turn up song, but also it's like one of those songs that'll get you hyped too, for sure, 100%. So, like I said, aesthetics definitely on point, definitely project worthy. Overall theme, much like I said, the whole project is centered around dissing, you know, all your fucking anybody who's a loser doesn't like you, your haters, your ops, whatever you want to call them in your region. Um, everybody has fucking haters, man. So, shit like this is always good to get off your chest. You know, it's like a more healthy way to deal with shit like that. You know, 100%. But I think Brandon did a good job, kind of like keeping it minimal. You know what I mean? Keeping it like not too overboring, but not too like not too specific either. So there's a very very interesting range here on this project, and I can imagine the rest of the project is gonna be fucking crazy. So well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to homie Braden. Thank you so much for the submission. Much, much love. Make sure you go follow them on Spotify. And of course, make sure you go follow Braden on Twitter. They are on literally, bro, only 8 followers away from 10. Go show them some love in the bird at my friend because this is their new account. And every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload per usual. So make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you have not already. We're approaching 310 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, undergrad tips and tricks, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good jazz over there, man. So go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. Shit. Alrighty, my friends. Let's get into it. So we're about halfway through the show, so you know what that means, man. I'm gonna need you guys to get up, go get a drink, go get a snack, and maybe go walk the dog, maybe go take a smoke break. Anything like that is cool. Because we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and when we return, we're gonna dive right back into the rest of the community submissions. By the way, I'm gonna be in how do you yeah, of course, Ghost. No worries. I got you. Do you think, Ghost? Always appreciate the lurk. Some artists was mid, some artists sick beats, mid beats. It was bad, some You're very 50-50, I take it, eh? That's fucking funny. Alrighty, chat. Quick commercial break, and when we return, we're gonna dive right back into the rest of the community submissions. So don't go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Music Mondays podcast, episode 221. I'm your host, Tom Slays. Welcome on in, my friends. Happy Monday. But hope you all had a good break. Hope you're chilling. Hope we're good. But we're gonna dive right back into the rest of our submissions, man. So we left off with the homie Braden. Up next is the homie Roots 777. Now, this is an artist that I feel like we haven't reacted to in quite some time. Let's pop this open in a tab. Let's see if we got him down. Let's see. So we got the homie Roots, 10 Toes. This dropped. Let's see here. This dropped January of this year, so still relatively new. Only a couple of months old. All right, I'm down. Let's get into it. Roots, Pressure, 10 Toes. This beat is crazy. What the fuck?
Get you body for like 10 grams. That's 40 plus another O if you in good hands. I call my people like I'm touching on the motherland. If they ain't on it, we gon' touch them with some rubber bands. 2010, I gave him 30 for a gram of that. Was giving word to everybody with my hand attack. The money right, them birdies fly, they need a landing pad. No, I don't trust them till my motherfucking hammer back.
I got tens with me, they some dime pieces. I'm in the cut, folding paper, now it's increasing. If you don't talk about money, then you don't know what I'm speaking. I told my team we all gon' eat and I put that on Jesus. And I put that on God, I can't fuck with facades. And if Lil' Mama body real, I might slide in and raw. And I'm still fighting the case right now, I know my name is large. Predict the future, my bitch hair bluer like her name is Marge. And you can't
What
crack
the
the dome,
fuck?
this flat earth feel at home. I caught so many flights, I've been so high, I'm never low. Told my bitch, let's go skydive in Dubai, how much a ticket for? Chicken drop crazy, I'm eating crazy, I forgot about a dinner roll. And I get bread like roti, ROOTZ OG. And I still smoke by the OT, and I still got game from the nosebleed. See me on TV at the flow seats, and the whole team reppin' DTE. And I'll never forget about my peeps. Cash rules everything around you and me.
What the fuck?
Let's go.
Let's go, man. Wow. I was not expecting that. What a great sound. What a great fucking sound. Wow. Okay. Shit. All right, let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. So, we're gonna talk about three things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of 10 Toes. Pressure, Roots, and the cover is very interesting. I can't wait to talk about the cover. But yeah, let's break it down. So let's talk instrumental. I love this instrumental. Has a good like OG like Memphis like modern trap style, you know what I mean? Like the samples are great. I think the big highlight here is the drums though. But all in all, the mix is awesome. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. Both of their vocals sit nice. Sound selection was good. Not too much to kind of harp on. I think the mix was pretty solid, to be honest with you. So, instrumental mix definitely up there. Instrumental shining star has got to be the drums for sure. I like the melody a lot, but the drums are fucking crazy. I will say that the drums are crazy, especially the 808s. It's just nuts. Patterns are great. So, I'm gonna go with drums, but you could probably argue melody or structure, to be honest with you. So, definitely the drums, 100%. So instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix. Again, really solid, especially for this style, right? Crisp, clean, clear. Levels were nice, not too low, not too high. Nothing ultimately that I would change on this, to be real with you. I feel like they both sounded really, really crispy, to be honest. Not like dry vocals or anything like that. It definitely has some post-processing, but definitely has that clear, like clean vibe to it, for sure. So, vocal mix definitely right where it needs to be, 100%. Vocal shining star. I like the flow and cadence a lot, but I feel like the writing clears here. The writing fucking clears here. You know, there's a couple bars, especially like just sprinkled throughout the song that I was like, oh shit, you know what I mean? So let's go writing. Definitely go writing for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely drums. Vocal solid, definitely the writing. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics, great for a single, man. Especially something like Ten Toes, right? You have the fucking Air Force One. You have the Ten Toes on it, right? And then the text is pressure and roots, force applied to a surface. The origins connected source. Parental advisory bottom mid. Down to earth presents at the top mid. Great for a single, man. I love it. I love it. Tonight's the night of the like simple aesthetics, man. Everybody went super simple with like awesome covers. Uh, so I like it. I like the vibes a lot, especially for a single. So aesthetics on point. Ten toes, pretty self-explanatory. 10 toes meaning that like you're staying solid, you're staying loyal. Meaning staying 10 toes is a very important aspect in all of life, friendships, relationships, financially, like so many things are so important that you need to stay 10 toes for. So a relatively obvious theme here, but I felt like Roots and Pressure were able to like really lay it out for anybody who is unfamiliar, but also like for themselves and like how they view the phrase 10 toes, right? So, well done, my friends. Well done. Huge shout out to Roots and Pressure. Make sure you go follow them on Spotify, and of course, make sure you go follow Roots on Twitter. They are literally 6 followers away from 280. So make sure you go show them some love over there on the bird at my friends, and of course. Every featured in today's episode, and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you have not already. We're approaching 300 subscribers, actually. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a lot of good jazz over there on the channel, man. Make sure you go show these artists and the channel some love. Let's get it. All right, we left off with the homie Roots. Up next is the homie Most Dope Kimon. Now, Kimon's been on a tear in 2025. They've been dropping music literally so consistently that it's so rare. You know what I mean? Like, I don't come across a lot of artists that work as hard as Kimon. And, their love for their craft is like so obvious. You know what I mean? And so I just always get so excited for Kimon submissions, man. But this week they submitted a official music video for Yeah, I Was Right. So I'm down. Let's get into it. Definitely down. All right, so 8 days ago, this is super, super new. Got credits and description, love that. Bro said keep going. Exactly, got to 100%. Yep, no doubt. Always lots of good positivity under Kimon's videos, always, which is fucking awesome to see. But let's get into it. Most Dope Kimon, Yeah, I Was Right, official music video. Let's go. Oh, no way, a beach vid? Whoa. Oh shit, bro. Locations, man. Wow. You could tell that Kimon was having a lot of fun with that one for sure. I mean, most of their videos, they're obviously having fun, right? In all of the videos, but this one in particular, you could tell that was fun to do. That was definitely fun to do. I mean, there are very few vibes that match the beach at night, man. There are very few vibes, and for those of you that know, you definitely know. You know what I mean? Like the beach at night is crazy vibes, and like the skyline here too. Like not really the skyline. I mean, I guess it is, but just these buildings in the back right here are like that shot is fucking crazy. Like that shot is actually nuts. But let's talk about it. Let's break this down. Let's get into it. So, we're gonna talk about three things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We'll talk about vocals, and we'll talk about the official music video for Yeah, I Was Right. So, let's see here. So, instrumental. I love the choice. You know, a lot of these types of beats, right? A lot of artists can't really hop on properly, or they don't really like have like the vision for it. You know, like this is a very like specific style. You know what I mean? A very very specific style. So Kimon kind of knew what they were doing here, picking this instrumental for sure. So I like the choice for Kimon definitely. Um, Instrumental mix though is great. Nothing super super clashy to overbearing. Nothing I would like ultimately change on this. To be real with you, drums definitely cut through nicely. Vocals sit nice. I love the sound selection. The 808 in particular is like really taking over in a good way. So I feel like the mix is solid. Definitely for where it's at for sure. Not too many gripes with it at all. So instrumental mix solid. Instrumental shining star. I mean, you gotta go melody here, right? I mean, you like, I don't know. Well, melody's up there, but the drums are fucking crazy. Like, in particular, like, the 808 itself is just fucking, it's really nuts. Um, hmm. I'm trying to think. Um, I kind of want to, I do kind of want to say drums, I won't lie. I mean, drums are definitely up there for me. Um, yeah, let's go drums. Melody's a close second, but let's go drums for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely drums. Beach vibe is hard. I agree. Definitely, 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 definitely. And yeah, back to your mansion idea goes. Yeah, 100%, 100%. Networking was the reason I was there. It paid off for sure. Got to grab it before they get big for sure, for sure. 100%. I'm definitely excited to see how it turns out. 100%. Um, but yeah, so instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix. Again, Kimon's a little bit more melodic on this track, so the mix is definitely fine tuned for that. 100%. Kimon was definitely a little bit more melodic, and I think it pays off for them. You know what I mean? Because they have such a specific style, and like they can almost like really like slide on any beat in a certain way. You know what I mean? Like Kimon's one of those artists that has a voice and like a vision that like, you know, not a lot of artists develop like over time. You know, so one of those things where Kimon's mix here is like really like working with the song. You know what I mean? It really does it justice, right? I mean, like I feel like they almost feed off of each other. You know, the instrumental and the vocal mix are like one and the same. So, ultimately, no gripes. Nothing super super clashy, too overbearing. Nothing I would like ultimately change on this, especially for the style. So, vocal mix definitely solid for where it's at. Vocal shining star. I like the writing, but I think the flow and cadence and delivery again is like really what gets me because Kimon really knows like how to deliver their lyrics and like how to actually like lay down a verse, you know, and like I feel like they have a vision in their head and they like consistently are able to execute it. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go with flow and cadence and delivery, but you could argue writing. You know what I mean? But let's go flow and cadence and delivery. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums, vocal solid, flow and cadence delivery. Let's talk theme. Or no, scratch that. Let's talk about the official music video. The official music video here. So yes, yes, yes. You know, this one I really like a lot for a few reasons, right? But the main thing is the beach vibes, right? I think the beach vibes are unmatched. Even better, I think night beach vibes are unmatched. You know what I mean? Like it's like really an insane time. Um, so filming a video, you know, you could almost do anything and it'd probably turn out hard, but the way that Kimon like really worked here on the beach was crazy. Like it just made for not only a fun time for Kimon and his team, right? But it's like fun to watch back. You know, like you could just tell like ultimately that they were having fun on this one for sure. Super simple, straight to the point, but also like very very appropriate for the track too. I feel like Kimon really knows like what videos need to go with what songs. You know, this is a very kind of almost like chill track. You know what I mean? So this is a very chill video. You know, so it matches up really well. Like the aesthetics of it all and like how it all like came to be is really nice. You know what I mean? And then like the small things like the outfit change. You know what I mean? Just like switching to the shorts and then like switching back to like the other shots. You know, like a lot of that's like genius because it makes it more aesthetically pleasing and you can just kind of tell, you know, and again, for something like this, I mean, you could get all these shots in like 2-3 hours, bro. You know what I mean? Like you'd probably spend more time walking to each spot or like driving to each spot than you would actually getting the footage, you know? So it's super easy to like actually get the footage. So the fact that Kimon like really likes to do videos like this is such a benefit to them. Such a benefit to them. And then like the water shot at the end, yeah, no, like come on, bro. Like the beach at night's always a fun time, bro. But I think the shining star for the music video here is the editing's up there, but I think the camera work and the shots are crazy. I like the aesthetics here, especially like some of these wider shots of the buildings in the background. I feel like that made this really sick, really, really sick. And then I think what kind of, you know, put the cherry on top was the fact that it was majority at night. You know, beach vibes at night, like I said at the start, is fucking crazy, you know? So this is a good idea. I'm excited to see what Kimon keeps coming up with, man, because like every location, every video just gets more like, I'm like, oh shit, that's a good idea. Oh shit, that totally goes with this song. You know what I mean? Like shit like that's like so sick. So well done. Well done. I like this one a lot. Huge shout out to Kimon. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Make sure you go sub to their channel, man. They're dropping videos constantly. They're literally only 7 subs away from 90. So go show them some love over there on YouTube. And of course, make sure you go follow Most Dope Kimon on Twitter. They're only 8 followers away from 20. So make sure you go show them some love over there on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you have not already. We're approaching 310 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Let's get it, baby. Once the people release the video, I'll show you as a spectator for it, watching who's good. Yeah, no, right. Just like scouting. Yeah, no, sure, of course, Ghost. That's smart, you know, like, you always have to be doing shit like that, you know what I mean? You always have to be doing shit like that. Definitely. Alright. So, that was a crazy submission from Kimon, per usual. Not really shocked. But after that, we have the homie Nick Fail, a very, very talented producer. And it's been a while since we heard from Nick, but they just recently dropped a track titled Demons. Hi, Z, here my demons. Cheers, Nick. This is fucking cheers, my friend. Let's get it. Let's hear. So let's pop this over to a new tab. And like I said, Nick Fail, a very, very talented producer, has submitted their brand new track, Demons, from literally 2 months ago. So not super old whatsoever, man. Literally brand new. Let's see. Description. Love all the links. Montage by Nick Fail. Mix and mastered by the homie. Footage source list. Wow, okay. Track is pure retro. Oh man, this is gonna be crazy. That is absolutely fantastic. Wow. This is a W. Lots of love in the comments. Okay, I'm down. Let's get it. Nick Fail, Demons. Oh shit. I agree on Oko. Great montage. True slasher shit. Holy fuck. Wow. Wow. You can tell Nick is a true horror fan, man. Like the way they like push it together is just so like so on point, man. So on point. And their music is perfect for it too, right? They have this like right synthwave, horror synth, like dark synth, almost like industrial kind of flavor to it as well. But let's talk about it. Let's break it down. So, we're gonna talk about we're gonna talk about two things here, because obviously no vocals. So we are gonna talk about the instrumental, and we're gonna talk about the official montage, visual, whatever term you want to use. But we're definitely gonna talk about that. So let's talk instrumental. Instrumental mix. I mean, I don't think it could be any tighter. I think the mix is fucking perfect where it's at. Again, nothing clashing to overbearing, nothing that would like ultimately change for this whatsoever. Nick is a very, very talented producer, so when they have somebody else engineer this, it just is so crispy, man. I mean, kind of a no-brainer, right? So yeah, that's the thing. Mix absolutely on point. Let's see here. So instrumental Shining Star. Instrumental Shining Star. I mean, you could argue drums. I mean, you could definitely argue drums for sure. You could. You definitely argue drums. But I feel like the melody is super, super important. Like the melodies here are like everything for the mood. You know, I think the melodies are like everything for this though. Yeah, let's go melodies. Let's go melodies. Drums are a close second though. Structure's not bad either, but let's go melodies. So, instrumental solid, definitely melodies. Let's talk about the visual for Demons. I mean, pretty self-explanatory. I like how they source their clips too. Like, from obviously the movie Demons from 1985. So I like that a lot because, sometimes people always get curious of like what you actually use for a montage, right? So yeah, I'd say Shining Star about this. I like the editing a lot. I definitely like the editing simple, but the clips are like chopped up in a real solid way. Um I would say probably the post processing, I'm not gonna lie. It's like between the editing of the clips and then like this like light quote here at the end was really interesting. Really, really fucking interesting. I thought this was a nice touch. And then of course you had the Nick Fail watermark like at the very end here. So I thought that was good. Yeah, let's go post processing. I mean, you could tell that Nick is like a really, really solid like dark horror fan. You know what I mean? So they really like, not only do they make music that's like very like almost horror inspired, but it just gives them even more an excuse to make visuals like this, and these really go hard. Pretty much everywhere on YouTube, on social media, like people really, really love shit like this. Especially as a producer, you should be going on your way to do shit like this just to give your instrumentals a little bit more life. You know what I mean? Especially if you're releasing them on all platforms and doing instrumental tapes and things like that. This type of shit, following your releases, is always important. Always very, very important. So, well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to homie Nick Fail. Make sure you go sub to their YouTube channel. They're only 4 subs away from 120. And of course, make sure you go follow Nick on Twitter. They are 9 followers away from 440. So go show them some love there in the bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe if you're not already, my friends. We are literally approaching 310 subscribers. So, per usual, make sure you go sub to the channel. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a lot of good jazz over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love. Let's get it. All right, so up next is the homie Ghost. Let's fucking get it. Ghost, a very, very talented multi-genre producer, has submitted a very interesting track. This released Friday. I was thinking of switching this in the last one I submitted around, but I don't think it matters too much. So it's a week late, but enjoy the beat is around my 5th and 10th ever beat, so don't expect too much. Interesting. So this is like some early Ghost here, some real early Ghost production. Okay. Okay, say less. Say less. Okay, so this is a single. Okay, yes, this dropped April 4th. Fraud by the homie Ghost. All right, I'm down. Let's get into it.
Ghost.
Really early Ghost production.
Let's fucking get it.
You could call me Walker with the way that I've been racing. Coming at you with the force of the ancients. Aiming at the speed at which I'm pacing. With the music I've been making. Every single day, make a song that should be banging. Like the caffeine that I'm taking. Ain't no time for sleep when you playing with the grace, man. Stay steady training. Cause your idols become rivals. They see me as a threat. So I'm flying with the jet. This shit became a dog fight. We ain't friends no more. Start trying to hit my line. Text my mama and you threaten her. Cause you bitch made. Talk about a fucking lame. Really trying to make me pull up. Didn't go well for you last time. Tell your fucking bodyguard I'll be his last fight. Then I'll hop onto a flight out to Cali for the sunrise. Trying to step to me. That's a war up in the skies. Cause I've been up on cloud 9. And you'll never bring me down. Cause I ain't afraid to die. Cause I know I'm fucking next up. Steady taking risks. Cause that's how you get your bread up. Boy, you should get red up. Did this all in one take. I ain't need to write a verse, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Ghost, this beat goes fucking hard, bro.
Let's go, man.
Fire.
I agree. The tags were great. Yeah, wow. Okay. I like this a lot. This instrumental has like a lot going on, but I think Stephen Michael did a really good job with it here. For sure. For sure. Okay. Okay. Couple things to talk about here. Let's dive into it. Let's talk about it. So, we're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals. We're gonna talk about the overall theme of this track. So, let's talk instrumental, my friends. Some very early Ghost production, right? So we'll keep that in mind as we think about it. But even then, right? Like this was made in 2023, and the beat was made in 2020. You can see how much I improved with spacing out the drums now, though. For sure, for sure, you definitely improved. I mean, it's not like a, it's not like a crazy like like long time, but I mean, it's enough time for you to like progress heavily. You know what I mean? And that's what's really sick to see. That's what's really sick to see. So we'll keep that in mind as we react to this. So instrumental mix again for where it's at, not too shabby at all, to be honest with you. Again, this one has a lot going on, so sometimes mixing those kinds of instrumentals can be a bitch. But I think Ghost did a really good job, to be honest with you, especially with it being a bit older. There wasn't anything too clashy, too overbearing. Nothing that I would like ultimately, you know, have a gripe with, especially with it being an older track. Yeah, no, definitely not. For where it's at, totally, totally. So instrumental mix definitely solid, 100%. Again, especially for where it's at. Um, instrumental shining star though. Hmm. With that said, I do like the drums though. I will say that. But the melodies are crazy. Actually, to be honest, I think one underrated part about this is probably the structure. I like the way it's structured out, to be honest with you, especially over like a 2 minute period. I think the structure is very solid. Um, I'm gonna go with structure, but I'd say melody or drums is a close second. But let's go with structure for sure. Let's go with structure. So, instrumental solid, definitely the structure. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix. Again, for a more older track, I like it. You know what I mean? It has that like grimy feel to it. It's a little bit muddy. It's a little bit like a little bit out there, but I think it really works for a track like this. You know, and Steven really kind of went out their way to like really like deliver like really solid bars and like really solid lines. So with that said, nothing super clashy to overbearing. Nothing I would like ultimately change on this, especially for where it's at. So I'm big on the vocal mix though. It definitely has that good muddy feel to it. Um, Vocal shining star, on the other hand, probably writing in lyrics. To be honest with you, probably writing in lyrics. I mean, obviously considering it's a freestyle, but lyrics in general, yeah, definitely lyrics in general. There was a lot of like hidden bars here, but a lot of like fun bars too. You know, that were like overly obvious. So it's a good mix of writing here. So instrumental solid, definitely a structure. Vocal solid, definitely the writing. Let's talk theme. I wanted this out. I pushed for it because I really like it. And he mixed it at night and uploaded that night for the following Friday. This is never going to drop. See, that's sick. Yeah, like as a prod, like sometimes that's the shit that you got to do. Like if you want something to drop, you just got to be like, yo, fucking drop that. You know what I mean? It's really what you have to do sometimes. It's so real to do that. Um, I've heard so many horror stories of prods just having songs that just never fucking come out. Even you know on smaller levels, on bigger levels, like it, so many like so much good music gets lost like that. You know, a lot of good music gets lost like that. So, it's good that you did that for sure. So, like I said, instrumental solid, definitely structure. Vocal solid, definitely the writing. Let's talk theme, aesthetics, Skywars, freestyle. I mean, you know, for something called Skywars, I mean, I feel like this was great. Skywars freestyle in the mid, produced by Ghost in the top middle, Stephen Michael in the bottom middle. I like the color palette though. I think my favorite thing about this cover is the color palette. The greens and the blues and the purples here are insane. And again, solid first single, so definitely hits the mark for sure. Overall theme, I wouldn't really say that there's like a crazy overall theme. I mean, because again, it's a freestyle, so I feel like Steven kind of went off the rails here and really just let their writing and lyrical ability kind of shine on a track like this. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't dig too deep for a theme, but I definitely enjoyed the lyrical content that Steven kind of provides here in this freestyle. So well done. Huge shout out to Ghost. Huge shout out to Steven. Make sure you go follow Steven on Spotify. And of course, make sure you go follow Ghost on Twitter. Ghost is only 6 followers away from 530. So make sure you go show him some love on the bird at my friends. Of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you have not already. We are approaching 310 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week. every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz is over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. Alrighty, my friends, let's continue on. Up next, we have the homie Marco Pernice Music, a multi-genre talented producer, has submitted a visual titled Tell Me Baby. Oh shit, I am down. Been a couple weeks since we heard from the homie Marco Pernice, but they've been digging through the archive here. This dropped about 1 year ago. Let's see here. Lots of love in the comments. Wonderful song, great modern vibe, groovy, catchy as hell. Okay, I like that. Let's get into it. Marco Pernice, Antonio Grilli, Tell Me Baby official video. Let's go. Fun facts, is the first song I got a shout out in because the first song I dropped was, oh yeah, true, okay. So shout out Steven then. Cover art by my bro GME. Oh yo, shout out GME. GME's fucking super active. Super active. I've seen them around. When they say I pushed for it, I made everything happen. Let's fucking go, man. Let's go. Dog, good. So sometimes you really gotta do that shit. It's super important. It's so important, man. Marco Pernice, Tell Me Baby. Let's go. Oh shit, we got an immediate retro vibe here. Talk about like late 90s. Or not really, I guess, because smartphone. It just looks retro. Interesting. I agree. Totally agree. Crazy ass switch up. The hook is good. Oh shit. Oh shit. Damn, this chick's getting it. The fuck? I can't dance like that. Thank you as always, man. Well done. Well done. Voice, guitar, keyboards by the homie Marco. Bass, synth, drums by Antonio. Mixing master by Antonio. Video director Marco. Publisher. Friend performed. Made in Italy. Go. Shout out the homies in Italy, man. We've been getting a lot of the homies from Italy lately tonight, man. I love that. I love that. Shout out the homies in Italy, man. Really fucking solid. This is probably one of my favorite Marco submissions ever, to be real with you. Using modern footage but having like the retro filters on it was genius, because you could source more footage that way and you could use the footage that you want, but if you're making it look retro, like this shot right here is like the definition of what I'm talking about, because like it has this like retro like VHS sort of filter on it, right? But you have literally a smartphone here, so the footage looks retro but it's not actually retro footage, so I like that. I think he was onto something with this. So well done. We're gonna talk about two things, because obviously no vocals, just the hook. Even though the hook was very catchy. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, and we're gonna talk about the official video for Tell Me Baby. So, let's talk instrumental. So, instrumental mix, very, very solid. Again, nothing clashing to overbearing, nothing like super, super off-putting or anything like that. I think they kind of nailed their genres down here too. I mean, has the EDM, electro pop, dance. Yeah, it has like almost like a house vibe as well. So, I feel like Marco really, really like hammered that down well. But instrumental mix, yeah, no gripes at all. Nothing super, super clashy to overbearing. Nothing that I would really ultimately change on this. Like I said, a lot of these almost like electronic style tracks can be annoying to mix sometimes, but I think Marco kind of did a good job with this one, to be honest with you. So, let's see here. So, instrumental mix solid. Instrumental shining star. That's the question. I do like the structure. I mean, because like especially like the beat switch up was like not super insane, but it kept its pace, But I think the structure in general was really, really solid. I like the melody as well, but I'm gonna go structure on this one too. I really like the structure. I felt like it drops out when it needs to. It comes back in when it needs to. The beat switch, it's like really, really solid. I like it's placed really well. Yeah, man. Let's go with the structure for sure. So, instrumental solid, definitely structure. Let's talk about the official video. I mean, like I said, it has this like insane retro look that I think Marco did a really, really good job with. And like having like the modern footage of like and just like making them look retro is pretty genius, Like obviously like it's not the first time anybody's done that, but I like the way that Marco did it, I like the way that Marco did it for sure, because I even almost thought it was retro. I was like, holy shit. This like opening shot here kind of looks like those old school like weather channels and news channels and shit, where they would be they'd be like doing like the weather and like they'd have like the helicopter and shit like just like panning out, of the skyline and whatnot. So it had me fooled for a second, but I think Marco did a really good job with that. So shining star for the official video is the post-processing. I feel like the editing was really, really well done, 100%. And of course, the clips that Marco picked here were great. Lots of city, lots of like social environments, but the dancing was the big thing because, of course, the song is called Tell Me Baby, so it's like, I mean, come on, like, you literally need to fucking, be jamming to this shit. So I think Marco did a really good job with this, man. Well done. Well done. With that said, huge shout out to Marco Pernice. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much, much love. Make sure you go sub to Marco's channel. They're only 10 subs away from 70. And of course, make sure you go follow Marco on Twitter. They are approaching 1.5K on the Bird app, my friend. So make sure you go show them some love on Twitter. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 300, so 310 actually, 310 subscribers. And of course, we upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a lot of good jazz over there on the channel, man. So make sure you go show these artists some love and go check out the channel, man. All right, so let's see here. Yeah, you guys definitely need a collab for sure. Definitely. I agree. I think that'll be a very sick collab for sure. Up next, we got the homies over at Money Green Music, a very, very talented hip hop collective, has submitted a Spotify track, and it's been a little bit since we've heard from Money Green Music, man. So let's pop that open and tab. Let's see what we got here, because Money Green Music is quite the crew of talented artists, man. Like I said, a hip hop collective has submitted a track titled "Bodega Tony." Interesting. Parental advisory, explicit content. I love this cover. What the fuck? I've never seen parental advisory put on a cover like that before. That's tough. I like that. That's tough. All right, let's get it. Tone Blunt, Prod Luca, Bodega Tony.
You just bumped into me, so move out my way when you see me coming by. No, you walk around me. This is Lord's territory. You about walk around. Hey, here's some Lords right here. So what? I'm here too. So what do you mean? Who you with? Who you think I'm with?
You know my slogan, I'ma chase the paper. Different cloth, keep a trapper in the bodega. Different cloth, different fabric, this is one Bottega. That shit was great, but I'ma do you one greater. Everything has a price, put in work, it come with wages. Can't hold nothing, do me a favor, don't ask for favors. I'm over the stove, bringing the yellow back like a Laker. Strip a jackpot, a boutique label, both money makers, been doing this for ages. The whole team, bosses getting to it is contagious. Skinny nigga lifting weight, slinging plates. Everybody eats B. Gotta feast the streets, G. Hungry niggas get antsy. Catch you while you with your family. Masked up with the whammy, a bag full of nose candy. Fiends think it's Halloween. Being broke's a nightmare, and all I had was $1 in a dream. $1 in a dream. You know my slogan, I'ma chase the paper. Different cloth, keep a trapper in the bodega. Different cloth, different fabric, this is one Bottega. That shit was great, but I'ma do you one greater. You know my
Oh,
slogan,
shit.
I'ma chase the paper. Different cloth, keep a trapper in the bodega. Different cloth, different fabric, this is one Bottega. That shit was great, but I'ma do you one greater. I took the oath, about this bread, boy, buy the loaf. Pantry with the bands, the boy and the rice. And don't negotiate my number, the price is the price. Show dates and back ends from the States to overseas.
Fuck.
Stay on roll, popping out if you got that bag feet. Niggas thought I was finished. Nah, put the rumors to bed. Keep going till you get ahead. Fuck the crowd, they only give you flowers when you're dead. One day you're up, the next day you lost it. Around my way, you gotta move with caution. I don't know what they mention, but it's not important. I talk shit on mics and do numbers like Uncle Shay and Joe Rogan. You know my slogan, I'ma chase the paper. Different cloth, keep a trapper in the bodega. Different cloth, different fabric, this is one Bottega. That shit was great, but I'ma do you one greater.
Yo, that line was nuts.
Now, but I'm man enough to take care of it another time. You understand? Yeah, I understand. That's your best bet to take care of that another time. Let's go. Yeah, that's your best bet, suckers.
What the fuck? Great fade out too. Nice and long. Keeps it right where it needs to be. But what the fuck, man? That writing was nuts. That writing was fucking nuts. Holy shit. Yo, Tone Blunt, man. Tone Blunt has a fucking crazy pen, bro. A crazy pen. That motherfucker can really write. Like every submission from them has been just of this caliber too. Super fucking talented. That was great. This is tough. Yeah, no, I agree. Spitting for sure. Tone killed that. Tone definitely killed that. Let's talk about it, man. Let's break it down. So, we're gonna talk about three things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals. And we're gonna talk about the overall theme of Bodega Tony. So, let's see here. Instrumental. I mean, I'm gonna assume obviously Prod Luca, right? So, mix is great though. Thinking back on it, I mean, usually everything from Money Green Music has really been super solid, to be honest with you, mix wise. So not really shocked, but yeah, mix is great. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. Sound selection is great. The ampli usage is great. Drum patterns are great. Yeah, I mean, shit. Vocals sit nice. Nothing's too loud. Everything's super crispy. Drums cut through nicely. Even the sample specifically, though, I feel like the sample was really well utilized, and it wasn't like overdone. You know, like throughout the whole. You know what I mean? Like it was used sparingly. So instrumental mix solid. Instrumental shining star. I do like the drums. Melody's up there, but again, the sample's kind of getting me. I feel like the sample kind of sold me. Just because it's utilized so well, you know what I mean? But I'd say drums were probably a close second, but let's go sample on this one, man. Let's go sample on this one. I like the sample usage here. So instrumental solid, definitely a sample. Let's talk vocals. Again, much like the instrumental, vocal makes it fucking crisp and clean, man. Straight to the point. Everything's super, super level. Nothing's like too loud, too low. Like I said, drums cut through nicely. Vocals definitely sit nice. Vocals sound even really good with the sample, to be honest with you. But again, Money Green Music and Tone Blunt have been very consistent when it comes to their mixes. You know what I mean? Very crispy, clean. Everything's like, super locked in. Like you're not really gonna hear like a off-putting mix from Money Green Music, but something new you always want to point out for anybody out here. So, vocal mix very, very solid, crisp, clean, clear. Vocal shining star. I mean, it'd be disrespectful for me to not say writing. It's the writing. The writing was fucking crazy. The writing just, I mean, what the fuck. Flow and cadence and delivery is a close second though, but writing here clears. Writing was amazing on this. So instrumental solid, definitely the sample. Vocal solid, definitely the writing. Let's talk theme. Bodega Tony. Again, I don't know what it is tonight with the simple covers that looks so good, but this is another one. I think we've had like 3 or 4 tonight of just like real simple aesthetics that are super well done. Almost like a flyer, like of a Bodega Tony, like in the middle, and then Money Green Music's logo, and then Money Green Music in the bottom right, parental advisory, bottom middle, another logo, bottom left. So it's like really solid, man. Like for a single, like if you want to go like minimalistic, this is the way to go. This is the way to go. I like these ones a lot. But aesthetics definitely on point. Overall theme, Bodega Tony. I mean, loosely based on obviously everything in those movie clips and things like that, right? But also I think Tone just kind of took this opportunity to like again use like a smaller topic to kind of like sprinkle down some more thoughts, This is one where, again, the replayability factor is very fucking high. I feel like every time you go back and play this, you're going to hear a new bar, you're going to hear a new punchline, you're going to understand something. You know what I mean? So it's one of those ones that has just a massive replayability factor. So overall theme is very solid. I feel like this is one where Tone really like showed off their skill sets for sure. So well done, my friends. Well done. Huge shout out to Money Green Music and Tone Blunt. Make sure you go follow them on Spotify. And of course, make sure you go follow MGM on Twitter. They are approaching 1.3K on the Bird app, my friend. Of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 310 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good jazz is over there on the channel. So make sure you show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. Okay, and if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you for supporting the Music Mondays YouTube channel. Even if you're just viewing the videos, dropping some likes, dropping some comments, we always appreciate it, man. Thank you. Up next, we have a first time submitting artist, RCD, Rough Cut Diamonds. That's an insane name. I like that a lot. But yeah, this is the first time submitting artist, chat. So let's see what we got here. They submitted a track titled Fallen. So, as we all know, every time with first-time submitting artists, I like to go in with an open mind. You never know what you're going to expect. So, let's let it be a surprise. This dropped on April 7th. And this is first-time submitting artist, Rough Cut Diamonds. And they submitted Fallen. Let's go.
Falling down, I'm falling down, I'm falling fast. Don't let me crash.
Excuse me?
I'm falling down. How can I fall so fast? I fell from grace, goddamn. What I'm in wasted, goddamn. Time was wasted. Without you.
Oh, it's a groove.
Can't live without you, I can't live without you. I want it to be something so different from me and you. We tried it, we couldn't stay, couldn't sustain this type of way of living. I'm falling fast. Baby, I'm falling down.
Wow.
I can't believe it. Took. I feel me turn on now.
Wow.
I'm falling down. I'm falling, and I just hit the ground. I'm falling down. I can't believe it. I'm falling down. I can't believe it.
I've been thinking about the next life. I've been living forward, thinking I ain't staying unless the check's right. Yeah. I don't even think I text right. I don't even got a reason. Yeah. And this summer I'm leaving. I'ma fall down.
11-hour flights got me in a different sphere. Touchdown, a different language is what I hear. Adriatic coast to dry to die. 11-hour flights got me in a different sphere. Touchdown, a different language is what I hear. Adriatic coast to strike the driver as he steer. Water so clear, wish the ass for trees get me high like a chandelier. My thoughts racing, many things need replacing, but more so need to do some erasing. Couple J's roll back to back, two facing. Jordan 4 lacing, had to take them out the casing. I'm gone on an everyday basis. They say aces in the pocket is the best hand. Only be the man that I can. 3.5 grams, lot of caps, few stems. It's a head high, I know why. I know why I'm going.
Wow.
I'm falling
That hook.
I'm falling down. I'm falling down. I can't believe it. I'm falling down. I can't believe it.
Wow. Very impressive. Very impressive. What the fuck? That's insane, man. That's insane. Like, every once in a while, we'll get these, like, first-time submitting artists with, like, a small following, and, you know, they've never submitted to the show before, and things like that, and then you get something like this, and you're just like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? It's very 50-50. It's either something like a new artist that has, like, you know, like, they're just starting out, right, so their music's kind of rough, or it's, like, some, like, established artist that is, like, or experienced artist that doesn't even really have a following, and they have just like fucking bangers under bangers, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? Cool group and mix of vocals. I agree. I feel like that hook is, wow, that hook is something right there. This is great. I love this. I mean, and even look at their discography. I mean, they've been at it from even right here like 3 years plus already. I mean, I'm sure longer, but they had it in their bio as well. But let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. So, we're going to talk about 3 things here. We're going to talk about the instrumental, we're going to talk about vocals, and we're going to talk about the overall theme of Fallen. Instrumental. What a unique instrumental. It has this like pop rap fusion and R&B a little bit too. Like this is a genre blended instrumental if I ever heard one. But super well done. Mix is fantastic, nothing clashing, too overbearing. The mix is actually very impressive on this whole song, but the instrumental mix here is perfect, very much on point. Sound selection's great, vocals sit nice, nothing cuts through, or everything cuts through nicely, and yeah, I don't really have any gripes on this, to be honest with you, like whatsoever. I feel like the whole instrumental is just like really well constructed, really well constructed. So instrumental mix is very much on point. Instrumental shining star though. I kind of want to go structure on this one too. I mean, I like the drums. A lot of the drums, specifically the percussion, is great. But the way this beat is structured out is so nice. It's really nice. It takes you on a journey, you know. So let's go structure for sure. Instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Again, much like the instrumental, the vocal mix is just fucking crispy. Very crispy. Clean. Not too much post-processing, but just enough. You know what I mean? It has a couple of effects on it that like really just kind of elevate the vocals. And like I said, vocals sit nicely, drums cut through nicely. Nothing I would ultimately change on the vocals if I'm being honest with you either. You know what I mean? If I'm being real honest with you. So, vocal mix is very much on point. Uh, vocal shining star. The writing was great. This one's gonna be tough, man. I mean, the writing was fantastic. The flow and cadence was fantastic. But the thing that I think would attract the most people to this track, no matter what kind of music you listen to, is the hook. I feel like the hook is fantastic. The hook is very catchy. It has a smooth kind of feel to it. Like, this is one where the replayability again is just through the roof, you know, because people just want to hear that hook, and then the verses just back it up even more. I feel like the verses are just wow. So yeah, let's go with hook though. Let's go with hook. So instrumental solid, definitely structure. Vocal solid, definitely the hook. Let's talk theme. Fallen aesthetics. What a cover. Again, tonight was the night of like chill aesthetics and like minimalistic covers that are like super hard, and this one is just insane. This one is definitely just insane. Again, kind of has this like retro feel to it, you know, because you have Fallen in the middle, and you have RCD bottom right. It almost looks like a camcorder screenshot almost. You know what I mean? Like it's a perfect cover for this. Very dark. It has this like, it's not. It feels like this song sounds, to be honest with you. So, aesthetics very much on point. Overall theme for Fallen. I mean, they spoke about a couple things here. I mean, everybody kind of knows what it's like to feel like you're falling, right? In life, you're just falling, you know, whether it be because of your work, could be fucking school, could be your relationships, could be, you know, maybe your parents, could be maybe your partner, your girl, whatever. It's that feeling of falling and like you just can't stop falling. You know what I mean? I feel like they did a good job kind of like touching on, again, their perspective of like what they go through, but also like, you know, I wouldn't dig like super deep on a theme here, just because RCD was definitely like showing off what they can do as well as far as writing goes, right? This was just quite the track. This was definitely quite the track, man. Well done, my friends. Huge shout out to RCD. Thank you so much for the first time submission, my friends. Make sure you go follow them on Spotify. And of course, make sure you go follow them on Twitter. RCD is only one follower away from 20 and literally 11 away from 30. So make sure you go show them some love on the bird at my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 300 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz is there on the channel. So again, make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love. Get it, baby. Alrighty, man. Let's continue on. So, up next would be the homie Jordan, but Jordan is a Music Mondays Patreon. We've already reacted to Jordan's submission earlier in the show, so make sure you go watch the beginning of episode 221 and show our Patreon some love, man. Up next is the very, very talented hip-hop artist known as Onwuka. Onwuka's been hanging out with us all night, so it's about time we got to their submission. They submitted a track titled Moon Knight. Ain't going for crazy throwback with Moon Knight. Alright, okay. It's all about how I feel like a different person in multiple situations and related to Moon Knight. The last verse all taken from a comic run mixed with rap flex. And, oh, I'm down. So we're digging in the Onwuka library again. I'm so down. Okay. Big bet. Big fucking bet. Alright, so let's see here. October 31st, 2020, so not like super, super old. But let's get into it. Onwuka, Moon Knight, I'm down. Cover is very cool.
You know, sometimes when I go out and about, I kind of feel like a different person. Like there's multiple versions of me, man. And it kind of reminds me of this guy named Moon Knight, and he's pretty G. So with this song, I'm going to show you the similarities between him and me. So check it out real fast. Moon Knight.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
I'm creeping around the street like a Moon Knight. Yeah, I'm living it like a Moon Knight. What type of man will I be? Well, I gotta see what the mood's like, and also what the moon's like. When they stand next to me, they be like, I wonder if this dude's eyes.
Okay.
The one thing I know is that I'll help you get your groove tight while I'm tripping off that moonlight. smirking it like I'm Mark Spector, hypnotizing with my rhyming like I had a dog scepter. My lines be divided, gotta pay attention or you'll get lost like you just had a hard lecture from a very smart professor. Now it's time to say why I seem like him. I rock white at night so they can always see it's him. We're ready to fight, get wild, and riot louder than anything shown on CNN. In my mind, it's live with me and them. I'm creeping around the street like a moon knight. Yeah, I'm living it like a moon knight. What type of man will I be? Well, I gotta see what the mood's like, and also what the moon's like, and also what the moon's like. When they stand next to me, they be like, I wonder if this dude's hot. The one thing I know is that I'll help you get your groove tight while I'm tripping off that moonlight. I'm creeping around the street like a moon knight. Yeah, I'm living it like a moon knight. End up crash landing and he can't tell if what he's doing right. Voices humming really loudly. Well, let's see who glides through tonight. The one thing I know is that I'll help you get your groove tight when I'm tripping off that moonlight. Tripping on that moonlight, getting all your crew high. But look at me glistening, kicking in a suit that's white. You know that I do it live, even if a dude die. I come back to life and look at you like I didn't have to try. Gave Conchu my console, now the only thing that can console is slicing and dicing, making a vengeance my friendship. Relentless when I stomp, bro, end up limbless. So I'm making those appendages pop slow, but in this instance it's not, oh, cuz
okay.
Around the street like a moon night. Yeah, I'm living it like a moon night. What type of man will I be? Well, I gotta see what the mood's like, and also what the moon's like, and also what the moon's when they stand next to me, they be like, I wonder if this dude's hot. The one thing I know is that I'll help you get your groove tight when I'm tripping off that moonlight. I'm creeping around the street like a moon night. Yeah, I'm living it like a moon night. End up crash landing and he can't tell if what he's doing right. Voices humming really loudly. Well, let's see who glides through tonight. The one thing I know is that I'll help you get your groove tight when I'm tripping off that moonlight. Roll up like a Jake is I relax in the car. Man, my below stay throwed like some crescent dots. Trying to make bank like I'm Grant, but also tear your flesh apart. You don't want to face off, I'll rip your face off, but that's just the start. Send those hammers straight back at him. Take Ghost Rider's whip, now that's some eel candy jacking. Dodge iron fist, hit then the moon glow to pack with the jabbing. Carbadoc strange chain before he knows what happened, but you know the cape's up flapping. I'm creeping around the street like a moon night.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm living it like a moon night.
Okay.
I see you pray to God. Well, mine wants me to use might so I can bring a truth and smite. Can't tell if I got power or not, but I see them cower and stop. Doesn't matter what's present or looms in sight. When you see that crescent hue so bright, start running like the goons. I strike, you don't wanna know what under this hood is like. I'm creeping around the street like a moon night. Yeah, I'm living it like a moon night. What's my best story? Not sure, all I know is death is boring. So that is why I choose to fight. I stay fly like the moon copter. They assume I'm off my rocker, but they telling me that this tune is nice. They say a moon is a loony, but we're not crazy, baby. We're just taking you to new heights while I'm tripping off the moonlight.
Let's go. And the mix is so good too, because you had mentioned that this is what? This is Moon Knight, one of my favorite characters. It's all about him. Pretty long though. Yeah, well, it's definitely not that long because you usually fill in all your tracks really nicely. So I definitely get that. I definitely get that for sure. This is one of my first tracks, so cool to see me find a footings of. Yeah, see, like that's what's crazy. Is like even like the mixing back then was still very much crispy. Like you were still killing it back then. This all from a run where he stunts on the Avengers, steals Ghost Rider's rip. Stealing Ghost Rider's rip is fucking nuts. Also has a quote, I died once I was boring, so I stood up. Yeah, nah, what the fuck? That's sick. That's really sick. See, you have this skill for, like, writing about specific topics that's just so crazy. It's so fucking crazy. Well, let's break this down, though. Talk about it. So, We're going to talk about three things here. We're going to talk about the instrumental, we're talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Moon Knight. A lot to go through here. Let's get into it. So, let's see here. Let's talk about the instrumental, man. So, I love the choice. I'm not gonna lie to you. I love the choice. I think the instrumental choice like fits Onwuka perfectly, and you could kind of tell that it was like an Onwuka kind of instrumental, right? So, I love the choice. Off rip for sure. But the mix is great. The mix is actually really, really solid. Nothing super, super clashy, too overbearing. Vocals sit really nice, especially for like an earlier track in 2020. Like, it's pretty crazy to have a mix this crispy, and it's like one of your older tracks too. You know what I mean? Like your writing definitely progressed too for sure, but like a mix like this is like whoa. You know what I mean? It's like looking back on it, it was still very crispy back then. But the instrumental mix is great. Nothing super clashy, like I said, too overbearing. Vocals sit nice, drums cut through nicely. I like the sound selection too. The 808's pretty king here for sure. So instrumental mix definitely on point, especially for an older track. Let's talk instrumental Shining Star. I'm gonna go with the drums. I like the melody a lot, but the drums were just wow. The drums were very much on point. And again, the sound selection was great. Like even like particularly like the 808 was very much solid. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the drums. So instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix, like I just said, fucking crispy, especially for like one of your first songs that you ever put out. I mean, you know, you're talking about 5 years old this year, and your vocals sound really, really crisp on this. You know what I mean? So that's a big fucking W. That's really cool to see too. But yeah, per usual, nothing like super, super flashy, too overbearing. Nothing that I would ultimately change with the vocals. I feel like the vocals are very much on point. And like I said, even for like an older track. Shout out my OG engineer, Josh. Yeah. Shout out Josh, man. He was dope. He retired. Damn, he retired? Oh, that's... I see a lot of engineers retire. I don't know. Must be something with the engineering gigs, right? But, shit, man. Shout out to Josh. Because even back then, this shit was crispy as fuck. So vocal mix, very solid. Vocal Shining Star, though. I mean, it's got to be writing, right? I mean, the writing is just so on point. I feel like it's got to be writing, 100%. It's about Moon Knight, and I think Onwuka, like, literally nails these theme songs. Not theme songs. Songs that have, like, very specific themes to a T. You know what I mean? So, you got to go writing here, you know? It's almost impossible to not go writing. So, instrumental solid, definitely the writing. Or no, instrumental solid, definitely drums. Vocal solid, definitely writing. Let's talk theme, aesthetics. I love this cover. As soon as we popped this open, I thought this cover was fucking sick. This cover is actually really, really fucking sick. Again, kind of simple, but not really, because it's like this alleyway shot, and then there's a building behind him, and then the moon in the back, and then the credits bottom mid, Moon Knight in the middle. I love the font too. Like, I feel like this is perfect for a single like this. You know what I mean? Perfect. I have no gripes with this at all. Aesthetics very much on point. Overall theme, Onwuka kind of broke it down for us pretty well here. This is all about how I feel like a different person in multiple situations and related to Moon Knight. The last verse was all taken from a comic run mixed up with rap flexing. And that's one of the first things that we noticed about Onwuka when we first started reacting to them. And a lot of their early lyric videos and visuals are very theme-based songs, and Onwuka is so good at that. Like, so fucking good at that. So kind of doesn't surprise me that Moon Knight was like right up that alley of like, you know, Onwuka can take rap and mix almost anything. You know what I mean? So well done, my friend. Huge shout out to Onwuka. Thank you so much for the submission. Make sure you go follow Onwuka on Spotify as well, and of course make sure you go follow Onwuka on Twitter. They're only 9 followers away from 720, so make sure you go show them some love in the bird at my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 310 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz. Let's get it, baby. Yeah, of course. You're very welcome, my friend. Thank you for your submission. Glad you dug the OG favorite. I actually do, for sure. I mean, you know, I think it's just as good as your, you know, modern and like newer shit, but you know, there's always those gems from like way back when we all first started making music. You know what I mean? So, well done. I fuck with that a lot. So, we left off with the homie Onwuka. Up next is the homie Isay, and last but not least, a brand new submission from the homie Isay. Now, a very, very talented multi-genre artist. We've seen Isay kind of attack a couple different genres, but they submitted a Spotify track this week. So let's see what we got here. All right, so we got a little collab with the homie Sean again. Isay and Sean, Drug Charm. Damn, okay. April 11th, 2025. So this literally dropped 3 days ago. So we're about to get into it. I'm down, Sean, Isay, Drug Charm. Let's go.
I can't get not enough. My wish is your command, and that's how it sustains. All I need is you, baby. You know it's true. Forever you're my love. Forever you're my love. I give my heart to you and my soul to you. I give my heart to you and my soul to you.
Oh shit.
I keep chasing my body and with you, hypnotized by your love. I am drowning in your love. Forever you're my love. I am running back, running back, running back, running back, running back, yeah. To you.
All I need is your love and you. You in my head every day.
Wow.
Now I am stuck with you. No escape from you. Every day I'm in love with you. Hold my hand, let's get it through. Going through the flames, going through the pain with you. Every time we fight, I don't feel the same. Since I met you, I wasn't the same. Since you came, I wasn't the same. You changed my life. All I think about is you. You're in my head every day. You know that I love you, and you know I love you. Running, 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 running back to you. You know I love you. Me and you till the end. Every day, every night. Coming back to you. Cause you know I love you. Let's not end this way. Let's just go my way. If it's not whole, let's go your way. If it's not whole, let's go your way.
See, like, I didn't know what to expect, man. I didn't know what to expect. That's why I say multi-genre, because I was not expecting some, like, indie disco pop right here. Holy shit. Yeah, I agree. The indie flavor is great on them, for sure. For sure. Production's nuts. I agree, man. I agree. Sometimes you just never know what to expect with the homies Sean and Isay, man. You never know. You never fucking know. All right, let's break it down. Let's talk about it. We're going to talk about three things here. Talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Drug Charm. Instrumental, first off, love the choice. Like I said, multi-genre talented duo. I mean, what more can you want from a duo like this? You know, they love expanding, they love pushing the ceiling, they love going outside of their box, they love going outside the sounds that they feel comfortable making. Great duo here, man, and I just love the choice. I love the choice a lot. So, instrumental choice, fantastic. Instrumental Shining Star, though, or no, instrumental mix, excellent. Excellent mix. Nothing super clashy, too overbearing. I do like the sound selection. Drums were great. They kept up the pace. Structure was nice. Nothing too loud either. I feel like the levels were solid. Nothing kind of like overblown or anything like that. Crisp, clean, clear. Really solid for where it's at, to be honest with you. So, instrumental mix, very solid. Instrumental Shining Star, on the other hand. Drums really keep up the pace here. Drums are like so fucking important, bro. Like, drums really keep up the pace. I think I'm gonna go with drums here just for the rhythm. I mean, the melodies are great, but the drums are just insane on this. So let's go drums for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely drums. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix. This is a little bit more of like a melodic track for these two, right? Like so they're kind of bouncing back and forth and switching styles and kind of seeing what works and what they like, what they don't like. And this is one where I feel like they really like nailed the vocal mix. like they really nailed it because it has enough like post processing to be like a little bit more flashy, but I feel like they still kind of stuck to their core, which was nice. You know what I mean? So you can kind of like use all types of effects to make your vocals flashy, but as long as you're like actually recording and delivering right, it's probably gonna come out fire either way. So vocal mix, very solid. Vocal shining star. Vocal shining star. I don't want to say flow and cadence and delivery. I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna say writing or the hook, but the flow and cadence and the delivery like really kept up the pace of this song. You know what I mean? It really kept up a good pace. So yeah, I'm gonna go flow and cadence and delivery for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely drums. Vocal solid, flow and cadence, delivery. Stock theme. Aesthetics. This is like such a Tumblr picture from like 2009, bro, and I love shit like this. Like it's so like 480p, you know what I mean? It's like one of those images you like go visit a site on like the Wayback Machine or like Internet Archive or again like those old ass Tumblr posts. They'll have shit like this, you know, and just like the pixelated tier is fire. I like their aesthetic choices a lot. Simple but again very effective, very effective. Drug charm. I mean, you know, love is a drug at some points. You know what I mean? And they quite literally dive into that idea and what it's like to be in love like that, you know, and you're just intoxicated with another person, and it's literally is almost like a drug. You know what I mean? So I do feel like they did a good job kind of expanding on that theme, and you know, you can kind of grab your own ideas from it as well, but they did touch on that pretty nicely. So well done, my friends. Well done. That was that was unexpected. Let's fucking get it. So with that said, huge shout out to Sean and I say make sure you go follow them on Spotify. And of course, make sure you go follow them on Twitter. I say is literally only 5 followers away from 980. So make sure you go show them some love on the bird at my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be links in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 310 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a lot of good jazzes over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love. Let's get it. Alright, chat, that was a crazy episode. That was a good ass night. That concludes episode 221 of the Music Monday podcast, baby. Let's fucking go. Let's get some shout outs. Let's show some love. Let's see what we got here, man. So first off, huge shout out to everybody that tuned in and showed love to tonight's show. Even if you just lurked and chilled, I appreciate it, man. You guys are fucking wonderful. Huge shout out to the homie Ghost. Huge shout out to homie on Wuka. And Ghost, thank you so much for coming back for another month, 4 months in total from the homie. Ghost, thank you. And a huge shout out to the homie on Wuka and Offspring Mysterious as well. You guys are fucking wonderful individuals. Thank you. And of course, anybody else who lurked and chilled and just kind of hung out in the stream for the night and just left the tab open, man, you are much appreciated, and you are a wonderful individual. So, let's see here, my friends. Let's see. So, all right, let's give some love to everybody else who submitted tonight. First off, huge shout out to all the Music Mondays Patrons, man. You guys are fucking amazing. Huge shout out to Jordan and Laverius. You guys had banger fucking submissions. And huge shout out to the rest of the Patreon crew. Ryuki, Kruger, King Mark, TDG, everybody else who's even following the Patreon. You guys are fucking amazing. Thank you. And huge shout out to everybody that did submit tonight. Huge shout out to Lucha Libro, Sam's Raps, Laverius, Offspring Mysterious, Braden, Roots, Kimon, Nick, Ghost, Marco Pernice, Money Green Music, RCD, Jordan, Onwuka, and I say you guys are fucking amazing. Thank you for your submissions tonight. We had a banger fucking show. I don't know how I'm gonna pick 3 of you guys to have a top 3, but we'll fucking see. But jokes aside, no, for real, amazing show. This is one of my favorite shows of the year for sure. But again, huge shout out to everybody that came through and showed love and submitted. You guys are amazing. But you guys know the drill. Missions will be live for episode 222 tomorrow. So make sure you follow us on socials to stay up to date. And, you know, let yourself know when submissions actually do open. Peace, guys. Later, Ghost. Thank you so much for stopping by, my friend. I appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah, so submissions open for episode 222 tomorrow. So make sure you follow us on socials and stay up to date when those do go live. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Blue Sky, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. We're pretty much everywhere, man. So whatever your preferred platform is, we are over there. And let's see. Yeah, so submissions open tomorrow, April 15th. If you're watching this anywhere else on YouTube or Spotify, submissions are already open. Make sure you do go drop your tracks and get your submissions in. What else? Oh yeah, per usual. This episode will be live on the Music Mondays Patreon tonight, and this episode will also be live on audio platforms this Thursday and on YouTube this Saturday. You guys know the drill, man. Make sure you go run those up and make sure you go watch the show back if you missed it, for sure. But that was quite the show, man. That was fucking quite the show. I'm very excited. Like I said, we have a couple of big updates coming this week. And Music Mondays is still recruiting, and we're dealing with a couple of things in the background, and looking to get this summer event really fired up. So I'm excited for it. But outside of that, per usual, like I said, submissions open tomorrow for episode 222. And you can find this episode on the Music Mondays Patreon, per usual. And if you want to stream any of the Music Mondays podcast episodes, the whole library is available on our YouTube channel, or you can stream it on audio platforms, anchor.fm/allmusicmondays. Literally, you can go take your preferred podcast distributor and go find Music Mondays over there. But make sure you go do that. And per usual, man, massive shout out to everybody that came through and showed love tonight. Like I said, even if you just lurked and chilled, I appreciate you all very, very much. And there's gonna be a lot of really, really cool shit coming soon, man. So I'm fucking down. But per usual, follow, subscribe below, everything linked below, all my socials, all the good shit is linked down below. I stream like 5-6 days a week. We're always doing watch party shit, YouTube shit. We're always doing all types of fun stuff over here, man. So make sure you come stop by. Next post will be an unreleased song that will drop on the 2nd, by the way. Oh, I'm down, Ghost. I'm down. I am fucking down for sure. So you hear a song early, some little unreleased? A little unreleased? Okay. A little unreleased. I like that. I'm down. But yeah, man, that's going to do it. That was episode 221 of the Music Mondays podcast. Massive shout out to everybody that came through, submitted, tuned in, all that good jazz. I love you so much. Like I said, I'll be live tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but we'll be live next week for episode 222 of the Music Mondays podcast. So you guys know the drill. Be safe. I love you all. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow.